Hello everyone, welcome to today's game of D&D. We'll be starting this adventure very shortly. We'll start with some preparations. We do have a new player with us. It's Bean, so welcome Bean. We're gonna start with rolling him up a character. Alright Bean, so I know you haven't played original D&D before, but do not worry, we'll teach you. So, my name is Egan, I'm the Dungeon Master here, and I'll be your guide into this game of Dungeons and Dragons. Is the name Bean okay with you? This is not your character name, just your player name.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, good to go. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is roll up your character's ability scores. In original D&D, they did this by rolling 3d6 down the line. The first score we determine is your strength with 3 6-sided dice. So, do you have your own dice with you, or also in the original D&D, typically the dungeon master was the only one who rolled the dice. Um, but we do have a rule here, is a house rule where players can roll dice too, and of course you can use a dice bot if you want as well, if you know how to use it. So, what would be your preferred method of rolling dice? Do you want to use your own dice, the dice bot, or the Dungeon Master's dice?
You can use the dice bot.
Alright, so the command is slash roll space 6 space 3d6. And you'll do this in the roleplay channel. Here, let me give you perms real quick.
What else?
So slash roll
3D.
space 6 space 3d6. Alright, very good. So those are your scores down from strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, and charisma. You can copy these down on a sheet of paper or your note-taking tool so that you can remember them. Let's see. I'll also be taking my own notes of your character as well. But you can take your notes however you wish to take them. I prefer or I recommend you do so on some type of note-taking tool you can easily access. So whatever is handy to you. Any score that you see that is considered low is gonna be 3 to 8. If you see a score that's 9 through 12, that's considered normal in old school D&D. And 13 through 18 is considered high. Alright, so the next step to creating your character is to choose your class. Your class is your role in the party and your set of skills. There are 7 classes you can choose from in old school Dungeons and Dragons. You have the choices of Cleric, Fighter, Magic User, Thief, and 3 Demi-Human classes, which are the Dwarf, Elf, and Halfling classes. Between those 7 classes, I will make some recommendations for you, or provide some recommendations to you. And this would be, of course, Fighter, since your character is decently strong. Maybe even Cleric, and Thief as well. Between those 7 classes, though, it's your choice. Some classes your character might not be so good at, of course, due to their lower scores or higher scores.
What does the elf entail?
Elves need to be strong and smart. Your character's not very smart, but
He has 11 intelligence.
you have a 7 intelligence. So your strength is 11, then your 7 is intelligence, then 9 is wisdom, 11 is dexterity, 5 is constitution, and 11 is charisma.
9 wisdom, 11 is the second
Dex
11.
11 is dexterity. It's just like on the original D&D character sheet. Here I'll post one in case you want to look at it. Alright, so if you click on that reference link, it will take you to the character record sheet if you want to look at it. Alright, and the next step to creating a character is to roll your hit points. So if you want to play an elf, that's fine. We do have to lower some scores to raise your intelligence. Do you really want to play an elf though? You won't play a very good elf because your character's intelligence is kind of low.
What about a dwarf?
Same with dwarfs need to be tough and sturdy. Your character has a low constitution score.
Then I guess good old fighter.
Alright then. Fighter is the best fighting class in the game. Let's see. Okay, so next is your hit points. This is how hard your character can get hit before they're dead. The fighter only has 1 to 8 hit points at the start. We roll a d8 to determine your hit points. So here's an 8-sided die. Your character's adjustment is -2 due to their low constitution score. Oh yeah, go ahead and roll for yourself. Like you said, you want to use the dice pot, so go ahead and do slash roll space 1d8.
5.
Okay, good. Alright, next you're going to roll 3d6 to determine how many silvers you've got. So go ahead and roll 3d6.
9.
Not bad. First, we have to buy you a set of clothes. Costs 1 silver. So you have 8 left. Next, we're gonna need you to get some weapons. In old school D&D, every adventurer is a hunter of monsters, bounties, and treasures, first and foremost. Then you have your class, your set of skills. But this means everyone's responsible to hunt, right? And the best weapon to hunt with is a missile weapon, such as a sling or a bow. So every character is, it's not like in video games where you just see a fighter using a sword the whole time. In this game, missiles are the king. So you'll need, no matter what class you are, everyone needs a bow of some sort to shoot monsters from afar, uh, especially like dragons and such. And this is a game about dungeons and dragons, naturally. So, the first one I recommend, if you want to focus more on your melee weapon, at least purchase a sling, which is the cheapest missile you can afford. The sling gets a bag of 30 stones and has decent range, and it's one-handed. So, otherwise, if you want a better one, I can recommend you some better missile weapons too.
I'll go with the sling. How much? How many silvers?
It costs 1 silver, so you're down to 7 silvers. Next, you're gonna want a melee weapon, of course. When the monsters get too close, you'll need to defend yourself and close combat. So, I highly recommend early on that you stick with the spear. Most fighters and most early game characters won't have a lot of armor or protection, so you'll probably be, um, if anything, you want to fight the monster from afar, even have that extra reach to poke them before they reach you. A spear has a lot of versatility, and not just that, if you do have higher level characters with your party, you can use them in the back lines, while the other characters kind of like, of course, protect you from the front, while you can just focus on attacking. So, um, I highly recommend the spear or the pike or the polearm. But if you want to go with a dagger for some reason, or a sword, or mace, or an axe, that's also fine. I'll tell you the prices.
No, I'll just,
So would you like the spear, or the pike, or the polearm?
I'll just go with the spear.
Alright, good choice. So it costs 3 silvers. You're still left with 4 then. You can afford more items. Next, I highly recommend we get you some armor. The cheapest armor in the game is the gambeson, cloth armor. So this costs 2 silvers. The other next armor that's better than that is the shield. It costs 3 silvers. You can block arrows with it.
I'll go with cloth armor.
Alright, we'll get you a gambeson. Okay, so you're down to 2 silvers. Next, we're gonna want to get you some equipment and supplies. Before you get any of equipment and supplies, you'll need a container to carry equipment and supplies with. First, I recommend the sack. It carries up to 20 pounds of gear, only costs 1 silver piece. Then you'll have 1 silver to buy supplies such as bandages or whatever you want. So first, is it okay we get the sack for you, or do you want a bigger bag?
We'll go with the sack. So I
Okay,
can.
that leaves you with 1 silver for any other equipment you want. So this could be bandages, candles, torches, tinderbox, 10-foot pole, spikes, a tool, your choice.
Anything you recommend?
I would recommend probably for a fighter, you might need some bandages in case you get wounded in the combats. That will help you heal faster, or you can tourniquet wounds and open wounds, prevent death.
All right, bandages it'll be.
A set of bandages comes with three, so you'll get three rolls of bandages. Let's see. Next is you'll need a name for your character. So you'll have to choose a medieval name. If you don't know any, no worries. We can also randomly generate your name as well.
We'll go with Oswald.
Oswald? Is it Oswald?
Yes.
Alright, very good. Early on, you'll be known as Oswald the Veteran. Veteran is the title for a first level fighter. Fighters not exactly fresh off the farm. They've just got back from perhaps their first military campaign, and now they're doing they're going to continue what they do best, which is fighting, but as an adventurer. So now you're doing it for yourself. You're a soldier of fortune. Um, so let's see. That is your role, fighter. Your skill is fighting skill. In our game, we have a house rule. Besides the fact that fighters have the most hit points, can use any armor and weapons. Our fighters are also able to attack at twice the rate at first level, just like in the white box rules for certain levels. But it's our own house rule for BX original D&D. So basically, at level one, you'll be able to attack at twice the rate, which gives you initiative over any monster that has less than two attacks. This is very important. Hit first, hit hard, hit fast, and you can kill them before they have a chance to kill you. So as long as you have a decent weapon, which a spear is a decent weapon, it should be able to kill most monsters in 1 to 2 hits early on. Most low level monsters. Um, Alright, that should be enough. Do you have any questions or concerns for your character? Or regarding your
No.
character?
Um,
Perfect.
armor class with
hmm
cloth armor.
Right. The Gambeson is a -1 armor class. That's good. Lower armor class in original D&D is considered better. So the starting armor class is armor class 9. You have armor class 8 because of that. Your dexterity adjustment though is a +0, so that's still an armor class of 8, which is not bad. Alright, let's see. Bad would be, of course, higher than 9. Some characters unfortunately start higher than 9 because they're low dexterity scores. Alright, so next is preparations for my returning players. Thank you all for your patience. We'll get you guys ready for the adventure in a moment. As you can see, we have a new player. His name is Bean, and he's going to join us as Oswald the Veteran. So let's change your name, Bean, to Oswald. Alright, you can see I fixed your nickname. It has your player name first, and in parentheses is your character's name with your level and class letter, right? So F1 stands for first level fighter.
Aiken, when you're free, I got a question.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we'll go to you next, Boomer. What's your question?
All right. So I didn't know this lesson, but when we roll up characters, because you were asking him when he was asking to be an elf to take points out of other abilities, are that's a thing? We're allowed to do that when we roll a character, or
Certain
is
ability
no?
scores can be lowered as for a 2-for-1 ratio trait. It's in the rules. So only to raise your prime requisites so that you can play your respective class more efficiently.
Okay.
Yep. So the only scores that can be lowered to raise your prime requisite are strength, intelligence, or wisdom, and it cannot be lower than a 9. So if you have 11 intelligence, for example, you can lower it by 2 points to raise your strength if you're a fighter by 1 point. It's not a very good trade, but it is better than nothing, right? If you want to be a stronger fighter, you sacrifice some
Well,
intelligence.
all right. Thank you. I just want to know.
hmm Good question. In case moving forward, you want to do that. let's see. But Boomer, you're playing as Lucius the Acolyte.
Mhm.
All right, perfect. So, given my notes, let's see if you have made any profit from your last adventure. It appears you did. You earned uh, 6 pieces of silvers. So, for preparations, we don't want to spend too much time on preparations, of course. If you have a lot of purchases, you should talk to me outside of the game. But you do need a small upgrade, so we'll get you a few things with your silvers. First, I recommend some better armor. Is that fine with you? Boomer? Is that fine with you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had to get up for a second. Could you please reiterate?
Do you want some better armor? You have 6 silver pieces.
Um, I've already spent in the notes.
Okay.
Suko gave me 1 silver piece in. He didn't put it in notes. I don't know why, but he put it in roleplay, and I bought a gambeson and a helmet with that.
Alright, well if he didn't put it in notes, then I cannot, of course,
Oh,
rule that he did, right? Because in case, like, he actually didn't do it or forgot he did,
okay,
right? Because then there will be
all right,
confusion on his part,
okay,
maybe, right? And he'd say, "Where did my silver go?"
okay,
Then I'll tell him this, and then
okay,
he would disagree, maybe, right? We don't know, but we don't know for certain. But that's why I cannot confirm you had get a silver piece from Suko yet until he
okay.
writes it himself or lets me know himself. So
Okay.
you
In
can
that
definitely
case,
purchase a Gamson and a shield though instead.
yeah. How much is a gambeson shield? They were five
It's a
total, right?
5 silvers total. Pretty much
Oh,
the
okay,
same
so
bonuses as well.
I have 1 silver left, right?
Mhm.
Okay. That's all. That's all. And bandages, what effect? They heal you a certain amount, right? But I don't know how much.
They don't exactly heal you, but they will increase the rate that you heal. So, for example, if you have an open wound, you can tourniquet it so you don't just outright die. But if
Yeah.
if you're resting, you bandage up your wounds, you might be able to heal faster because it won't get infected.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. So, did you want to purchase a roll of bandages?
How many bandages are in one roll?
3 uses, 3 rolls of bandages
No uses, 3 rolls.
for
Um,
1 silver.
I'll look at. I'll take one look at the shop real quick, if that's okay.
All right, I'll come back to you then.
Okay.
All right. Next is gonna be Bran F3. Let's see if you've made any profit in your last game. Hmm.
Sorry. Helmet and gambeson cost 6 silver, correct? Just double check them.
Helmet and Gamson was 5 silvers.
Okay.
Or no, not
Thank you.
Helmet and Gamson. Gamson and Shield was 5 silvers. Helmet and
Gambeson,
Gamson is 7 silvers.
7 silvers.
Hmm. Trying to find the last time Bran played. Here we go.
Um,
Let's see.
I might have mixed up my words then, Ekin. In that case, I would have just. I meant to say. I think I said shielding gambeson. I meant to say helmet. Uh. In that case, I'll. Sorry. Okay.
I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Um. 1 second, please.
Alright, Bran, it looks like you've already been paid. Your character's sitting at. Let's see. Mm, not sure if this is accurate to you, but hopefully it is. You're level 3 fighter, and you're sitting at 3.2 silvers with
That's what it says
410
on.
experience.
That's what it says on my sheet. That's accurate.
Okay, good to go. Um, Do you have any prep?
Uh, how much would a bow and arrow cost?
Short bow and arrows will cost 3 silvers.
Can I get that?
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Vala Spritomart. Let me make sure you were paid in your last adventure. Just gonna look back at my notes.
I believe I should have 6 total.
That is true. Yeah, I see 6 on my sheet as well.
Yep. Let me see.
So, yeah, do you have any preparations?
No, I've
Alright,
got nothing to buy. I'm good to go.
full kit, perfect. Let's see.
Actually, I did have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So Fortunato never got inheritance from Emerson. Would Britamo be able to do that, or
Yeah,
no?
he
Because
could if you
Emerson's
want
body
to.
was never recovered.
Emerson's body was never recovered. His gear was never recovered. But you can still inherit 10% of his experience. And then you're, of course, in the right of claiming his gear if you do find it, right? Reclaiming his gear. So,
Yep.
but
Okay, I'll do the experience thing later. Then.
okay.
Yeah. With my 1 silver Ekin, I think I'll go ahead and buy. Since I don't think anyone else has one, I'll get a 10-foot pole.
Hmm.
So that brings me to 0 silver.
And does anyone in the party have torches? Anyone?
I have
No.
3 torches.
Do you have a tinderbox as well?
Yes.
All right. Would you like to restock on torches?
Yeah, I may as well.
All right.
I'll
Cool.
spend a silver to do that.
All right. And it's not required, but you guys may purchase food if you want. Food can be used so that you can heal, do a campfire and heal. But it's not required for the adventure at all, because most of the dungeons that you're probably gonna visit early on are local. So do we plan on camping out there, or are you guys good to just go without food?
Oh, I'm good to just go without food.
Yeah, I
All
say
right.
we're
Perfect.
we're good to go.
Do we have a thief, or are we just all fighters and a cleric?
Yeah, just 3 fighters and a
Just
cleric.
yep.
Hmm.
So we do have less than the recommended party size, which is 6 to 8. So you guys are allowed to hire on some extra hands. If you want, we can give you, without any negotiation, 2 normal men who can who can be recruited at, of course, a share of the party's treasure, of their employer's treasure, perhaps, or the party's share. If they do get the party's share, then of course they'll serve the entire party, and then of course but then they'll still need someone to be in charge and making sure they get paid. So the party leader most likely will be in charge of managing these retainers in the party. Um, do you guys wish to hire some retainers, or do you guys want to go with 4?
We should hire some retainers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should.
We
Okay.
could hire it. Are we allowed to hire them for specific roles, or are they just men we have?
So if you want 2 normal men, you can um, provide them with whatever you want, and then their role, of course, is typically something safe. You can negotiate what role they're going to take, but typically these normal men will take on normal men roles, which is either torchbearer or porter, or yeah, those are like the 2 main ones. Porters or torchbearers, or maybe even like just like an extra hand to dig, so or to search.
Or
So if you want men at arms, you're gonna have to negotiate. You're gonna have to actually talk to them, arm them up. But normal men are typically easy to bring along. So these are unemployed individuals who have little to nothing, right? That you can equip and then take along. Um, Otherwise, if you want like full-on adventurers as your retainers, you're gonna have to really negotiate, right? Persuade them to go with you. They probably won't go with you unless you've got a good reputation, right? That there's promising amount of treasure, and they would follow you and get some treasure too. So, uh, do you guys want to just go
Alright.
with two normal men, or do you guys want to try to hire some good characters?
Would we be able to hire healers?
If you a level two cleric, it's very rare to hire a level two
Yeah.
cleric. It's very expensive, more so. So
Yeah. Oh,
I say we just go for the normal man. We just need people
yeah.
to hold torches.
We could try and hire. I mean, if we ever, because we might need a thief. So just a level one
Right.
thief. How
Uh,
much would?
Frederick
Sorry.
is asking if he can join now.
mm, you guys for the returning players, traditionally, if you want to play, you have to sit in like everyone else, right? For preparation in all parts of the game. You can't just join in mid game or anything like that. So it's up to you guys. Are you guys okay with Frederick joining in late?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine with that too.
Okay.
In that case, if Frederick was joined, we might not have to hire a retainer because he is.
I say we just hire one at least, because
Yeah, this one.
yeah, at
What
least
I'm
to hold the torch.
what I'm thinking we could do is we could go back and get that chest because he'll have the spell for it.
Yeah, if you want to risk it, but we could run into those bugs again.
Well, we did kill him, but
We did, yeah. We just gotta find a better room. I mean,
mm,
my idea was that we could use the knock spell on the chest. That we stand away from it, and then if it opens, we can just see if it's worth messing
yeah.
with it.
Mhm.
But we would also need equipment too to take it. I
Yeah.
think like a hook at least, and we can attach it to a pole and pull it.
Or we could. I mean, the pressure plate's like 5 foot wide, so all we
Hello?
would need.
Oh.
Oh, hey. Saying all we would need was for someone to make a 5 foot jump, so
Maybe, but
and then jump back.
we also don't have a canoe as well. We have to buy a canoe.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Or well,
So
what happened? Oh,
we're about to push forward and get this adventure on the road. Then I know you guys want to hire some retainers real quick, so let's do that real quick before we set out for the adventure. So I will tell you there's two men you met at the tavern uh, the evening before the adventure that you could have potentially hired. You were walking around, maybe you asked around, whatever it might have been, but you did learn that there were two men potentially available for hire. There was a man named Pox. Before he decided to maybe seek work as an adventurer, he was simply a serf. Of course, just living on his lord's land, doing what he had to do. But recently, he has become a freeman, and he currently owns a sledgehammer on his belt. He does own a dagger, but it's not with him right now. It's at the gate. And that's pretty much it. He's looking to be hired as a torchbearer or just a non-combatant, someone to carry either equipment, maybe bear the torch, taste potions, spike doors, etc. Just a normal kind of task, so a non-combatant role. There's another man you met at the tavern yesterday evening. Uh, he claims to have been a bastard of local nobility, and he possesses a few weapons on his belt. There was a spiked club, a dagger, and his favorite, his fine fighting axe, a two-handed axe. He constantly cracks his neck though. He's a very strong man. His name was Herdret. So those are the two men you were able to meet last night. Were you interested in either of them?
hmm. The second one. That's fine with everyone else.
Yeah. I mean that's fine with me.
All right. And before you go on to hire him, are you guys who wants to hire him first of all? And is he going to be a party retainer or a personal retainer?
Um, Party retainer.
So party retainer means that he will serve all members of the party. Of course, he will still, and he will of course take orders mainly from of course party leader, right? And party leader will be in charge of managing his pay. But party leader, if there is one, right, or whoever is going to be managing his pay, you will have to be offering him a party share then. So instead, everyone is of course typically entitled to a full share. Sometimes high level characters might be entitled to multiple shares, and then of course retainers are typically entitled to half shares, right? So the typical retainer gets a half share. The typical first level character gets one share. Level twos, level threes get higher shares, and so on if they do their role better, right? Or provide that they provided that they fulfill their role as a higher level character, right? And so that's
Oh,
typically
by
how
the
it
way,
goes.
dope dice. You can.
Thank you.
I was saying dope dice, the metal dice look pretty cool.
All right, so between those two retainers, sounds like you guys are maybe interested in Fudret.
Mhm.
So who would like? Do we want to hire him as a party retainer or as a personal retainer?
Party retainer.
I say party retainer as well.
Okay, who will manage his pay? Who wants to go and try to employ him?
I've got a 12 charisma, guys. Probably not the best person for this.
I think I have 14 charisma. I don't know.
I only have 11.
Yeah, I'm fine with Frederick going.
Yeah, Frederick volunteer for the job.
All right, Frederick, how do you want to approach Hudra at the tavern?
Uh, I'll show up, sit down beside his table, and call out to the bartender and say, uh, a mug of drink for this friend here.
The they nod, of course, and they go on to get your drink. Hudra looks at you curiously. You've already offered to buy him a drink. So you're just going to buy me a drink.
Uh, I'm not thirsty at the moment, friend. We're going out for a venture. I was just wondering if you were interested to tag along. Of course, you'll get a fair share of treasure if you got it.
Hmm, I might be interested. I offer my services as a man-at-arms. For only the finest pay, of course, the highest bidder. How much am I going to be paid if I were to join you?
You will join us as a retainer, which means that the rest of my party members gonna do most heavy lifting. He's just gonna come along, help us when we need a little bit of help. So it will be easy task. So I would say it deserves at least half pay.
Hmm, half pay. Easy task?
Yeah,
What
easy
sort of
task,
easy
man.
task do you speak of?
Things like carry some of our luggages, and when it's monsters, you can stay in the second line and you know how to fight it directly. We got some very capable fighter there. In and out, quick job.
Hmm. I don't plan to up carry anything, but I do plan to up fight.
You plan to fight? Well, that's fine by me, friend.
Right, I'm not a simple servant, I'm a man-at-arms.
Yes, of course. Sorry I offended you. No, all you need to do is just fight with our fighter then at the front line.
Very well. You said half a share of treasure?
Yep, that's correct.
Well then, I accept your offer. Can I see you in the morning?
Yep, I will see you in the morning.
Very well then. Enjoy the rest of your evening, gentlemen. And he sees the rest of you in the background listening in on the conversation. Of course, at that point, he goes on to drink the beer that you ordered him. That would cost you 1 copper piece.
Perfect. All right. and I turn to face my party members, and then dab and say, "That's how you do it."
All right, well done, Frederick.
You guys know where we're gonna go?
Go, Frederick.
Alright, and for those who are new, I'll be telling you of the places you might visit. But the next order or the next topic of discussion is to figure out what you're doing for this week's adventure, of course. We understand that our party is stationed in Gavelon and can set out for the local ruins to get their week of treasure, right? So we have, of course, to the southwest, there's a mine and the rocky crags close to the coast, and to the southeast, there's a tomb. So the mine is again to the southwest. It is the one second. Write you the names of these places real quick in further detail. Okay, so we have the Lost Man's Mine that was abandoned after it was infested by particular types of demi-humans. These would be, of course, grotesque men known as the goblins. And to the southeast, there's the Silent Lake Tomb, a tomb blocked off by water. You'll have to figure out a way to cross if you want to get there, remain dry. So there's that. Apparently, there's a lot of undead there. And if you're interested in expert level adventure, far to the southeast, a few days travel is or not to the southeast, to the north actually. Let's see, to the north of you in the mountains up here, if you look at the map, south of Bretonia but north of Gavelon, there's a place called Fort Stonehold. It's an abandoned stronghold in the mountains. Apparently, a young dragon was spotted flying through those mountains in the past month. So adventurers are seeking to maybe go out and slay it. It's an expert level adventure though, so you must be very brave and prepared for but it's very rewarding, very high risk, very high reward naturally. Those are three
Yeah,
adventures you can take on.
I feel like we should think about it this way. Full send.
Well, Oswald,
Oh.
you're new, so you have nothing to lose, but these guys have been
Full
campaigning
send.
for many months.
I was gonna say our champion Darius now here. Guy being absent for many weeks.
See, if you guys aren't scared, you'll full send it with.
Oh, you've
I'm
Because
never.
definitely,
otherwise, it just sounds like you're scared. You
I'm
know.
definitely scared, and I'm definitely afraid. I'm
Uh,
not, I'm not
we're
doing the
just
dragon.
we're just regular men, you know. We fear for our lives at points.
Guys, you sound scary.
Man, honestly, all my job is not like open doors. You know, that's pretty much my job. I am not ready to fight dragons.
I'm
Too
definitely
bad.
scared. Not facing that dragon.
Grow a pair. Um,
Oh, ho, 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 man.
You can't grow up here if you're dead.
yeah, but you can't grow a pair if you're not trying.
Oh, my friend, what weapon do you have?
I got a spear.
Okay, way to go.
Yeah, that dragon would probably burn you before you could spear it.
Hey, hey, hey. Maybe he can throw the spear right in between the eyes. Who knows?
Yeah.
I say we go to the dragon hold after we get more experience.
And once we have a much larger party as well.
That's a fair point.
This isn't
We
a
need more.
large party. What? Huh?
This is a small party, so the minimum party size in old school D&D, which is considered a small party, is 6 to 8. This is lower than small. This is a tiny party.
Ooh. Bro, I can barely DM for 4 people.
A good sized party is around 20. But that's rare to get. A normal size might be around 12. So double that of a small party.
So I'm thinking we could, since you're here, Frederick, you have knock, right?
So where do you guys want to go?
We could probably go to an area on land where like we could save money by not buying a canoe or something.
I am technically broke. You see that mug of beer I bought that guy? That's all my money, man.
So we could go to the mines where the goblins are at. That's explored, so we'll be heading in blind.
Yeah. And
I've had some ancestors who've gone to Castle Ruins of Volta, but the first level is basically cleared up. We won't find any treasure there at all. We can't go into level 2, but that takes some preparation.
You
We'd have
know,
to buy
I say we
food.
go to the mine. We tried to go to the mine last time. We didn't end up going. Let's go to the mine this time.
all right.
Okay. Yeah, Lucius wanted to go check out the treasure chests from a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but
We
then, yeah, but then we need to get a
we need to get
canoe
a
or
canoe,
something.
yes. And
Yeah, I just realized that.
yes, our other party members that have bought canoes are not here.
Oh, you know, or you can talk to them and say possibly can borrow a canoe. Can we do that? You can.
Borrow canoe from who?
Remember who bought it last game?
They're not here right now, so you can't ask them.
Oh, you can't talk to the younger characters. Try to borrow it.
You can try to find them, but if they're not here in the game, then even if you try to find them, they're probably not gonna accept, right? You don't know them, so.
Shit. I
How
mean, the
would you
party
feel if
already have
someone
2 canoes.
borrowed your stuff, right, without your consent, playing the game? So that wouldn't be right.
We maybe gamble someone in the tavern for extra money to
The
buy
what?
a canoe.
How much canoe, dude? Or you gotta spend like an hour gambling.
Well, so you guys want to go to the mine then?
I guess we will have to go to the mine. That's the only way we can go. Can go.
Uh,
Anyway, do we have enough food, rations to go to the mine?
How far is the mine?
It's a local ruin.
Yeah.
It's within a day's travel.
yep.
It's only
Um,
about what? Is it like 6 or so miles far out? So
With a road that goes to the mine, it's less than that, of course.
less than
You would
6.
get there in a couple hours, and there'd be a couple hours to get back. You're probably only going to be in the dungeon for a couple hours too, so less than a day.
Oh, I guess we don't really need anything. Just go then.
yep. Well, Frederick, what spells do you have?
Shield, magic missile, and knock.
You don't have sleep?
I never get a chance to learn sleep.
Oh,
I never get a chance to learn sleep or magic missile. The spell magic missile is not even mine. It's a copy down my book from somebody else. I
okay.
never ever use it.
I guess we'll just try to be careful then.
Well, it's the first time for everything.
Like I said, I'm just a guy who open doors, open chests.
Alright.
That's it.
Ah, yes, that's the thing. They're the one. Very well done.
Alright, so Frederick has memorized shield, missile, and knock. And then, do I have any other casters in the party? Let's see. There was,
Knock, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not high enough level yet, so.
Yeah, you need level 2 cleric. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can still turn dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing you
If
do.
only God would recognize me so early.
Oof, and then he would take you away from us. How much a canoe?
5
I
silver.
don't see it in the list. It's 5 star. Okay, cool. Man, same price as a hound. Cool. All right.
Alright, so now we're going to set out for the abandoned mine, or the lost man's mine.
Yep.
The rumor goes men were getting lost down in the mine, and as they dug too deep, monsters were encountered, and they drove the miners out. And ever since then, the mine was abandoned. The mine is, or lots of the mine expedition leaders are hoping that at some point adventurers might fully clear it out. But at the moment, they're just paying for the heads of those monsters that guard the mine now, or take lair in it. The mine is a very important mine to the region. It's the southern mine of the kingdom and has provided a great deal of resources, including salts and other very important uh, types of metals and stones can be found in the deeper levels. So it's a very important mine, but it's been lost over the past year. so far, adventurers have rumored to have only explored dungeon level 1, and some have even reached dungeon level 2, only to kind of touch the surface. But dungeon level 1 is yet to be fully explored and secured.
Anybody been there before?
Yes,
In this
many have.
party,
Not in this party though, I'm not sure.
Okay, so we don't have a map. Oh.
Yeah.
are we able to try to find some adventurers that have been there before and maybe map the place?
You can spend the extra time if you wish. That would take time out of your game though. Keep in mind we only have about 2 hours left. Or about 2.5 hours left actually.
Yep.
And yeah, we can definitely do so, but there might be even past maps in the node channel if another party was kind enough to leave some for y'all. So
Ooh,
you can search that
yeah,
if you find
that.
any maps of the mine. There might be
I
a
don't think
few
I've
in
ever
there.
seen someone leave a map for that place. I might be wrong. Because I think it'd give us an advantage, but it's up to you guys.
Multiple of us can go throughout the town, maybe ask people to like I don't know, like spend time quicker.
So do we want to spend the extra time in the village finding information and maps and such?
Nah, man, I don't even find any map anywhere. I don't think we can find people can give us a map. So yeah, let's just go to mine. Let's
Yeah.
map it out for everybody else, I guess. Who's gonna be a mapper?
All
I
of
can
you are
be the
recommended to
mapper.
map, but you can assign the
Okay,
party
dope.
member if you want.
Okay, go ahead then. Let's head over to the mine.
Alright, so Fedric is ready to go, Britamart is ready. Bran, do you have anything else you want to do in the village before we set out? Or discuss
Yep.
or share? Okay. Lucius,
Mm-hmm.
is there
Just
anything
here.
else you need to discuss or do before we leave?
No, other than well, I've already gotten my 10-foot pole, so no.
Oh, we lost Bean
Epic.
because he wanna slay dragons. Makes sense.
At level 1.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, it looks like we're
So
down
Alright.
if I find the way the dude talks, it's not gonna stay around. Yep,
By the
we
morning,
left.
of course, the new guy who called you all cowards ends up not showing up anyway, so. Um,
Did we get
I
all?
uh I
Did we
think he
hear
went
about?
away. I was gonna say I think he went away to slay dragons. That's where he went.
Or you want to check for news if anyone went out for a dragon?
But anyways, we can go ahead and head over there
One
to
moment.
the mine.
After a few hours of marching from the village of Gavelon through forested hills along the road, you eventually make it out into kind of an open, rocky, craggy area. A rough steppe of sorts. Very few trees out here, very little vegetation. The road takes you to what appears to be a small mountain on the range of hills out here. It's very rough and rocky out here. A few things you do notice are, even at this time of the year, you see a few birds out here, and every now and then, you're able to even see, as you approach the coast even closer, sometimes you'll see a small gray lizard basking in the cold sun, but it would make its way back into a rock or two um, as soon as you would get too close to it. They're very fast and skittish. It's not as cold in the southern regions, right? Naturally, we're in the southern regions of the kingdom, so even during the winter time, it doesn't get too cold. You're approaching what appears to be, again, uh, the base of a low mountain, but the road takes you to the entry to the mine. And before the mine, of course, there's a large expedition or excavation camp here. The area is cleared and well maintained. It looks like there are actually miners out here, as of right now. So perhaps it's getting closer and closer to being cleared out and safer for those to for miners and such to of course start to returning to the mine. You'll see on the eastern, so that's toward the western half of the excavation site. Uh, on the eastern half, there's a small corner where a bunch of adventuring types or guardsmen seem to be resting up or preparing for further delves. And on your way in, just on the outskirts, are the camps of other perhaps travelers or various folk that aren't exactly miners but maybe camp followers and even merchants, providing all kind of resources. Looks like recent excavations or expeditions have been successful, and it's starting to attract followers and such to reclaim the mine and, of course, readjust for uh, human existence here in the mines again, right? So you'll see as you approach a small caravan immediately offering you trade goods that you might need to take to the mine. Hey, excuse me, gentlemen. Perhaps you forgot some tools. You'll need some pickaxes if you plan to dig up any of the lost ore down there.
Ah, great idea. Anybody want to pay for this gentleman for a pickaxe?
4 silvers and she's yours.
Mm.
How many silvers?
4.
4 silvers. Oh shit, bro. We can buy a shovel in town for 1 silver, and the same price we can buy a pickaxe in town as well. Are you sure you're gonna sell us for 4 silvers?
Well, you want to walk all the way back and try to find a pickaxe for 1 silver, or do you want to buy it here now?
Oh man, I'm just trying to be a. I don't mean to offend you, sir. I'm just
Ah, no
saying.
worries. If you would rather go all the way back to the village and purchase potentially a cheaper pickaxe, but keep in mind, these are quality mining pickaxes, specially made for the mine. Miners themselves tend to purchase these ones because they're the best ones around.
I don't doubt it at all. I do think you probably sell the best quality pickaxe here, but I don't think we have that much silver. You know, making a business is better than miss a business, right? How about 2 silvers?
Hmm, you're a tough one, but I can see you might be a little tight on coins, so maybe 3 silvers, and it's yours.
Anybody have 3 silvers for pickaxe?
I have 0.2 silvers.
God, what about you?
I have the money, but I don't want to buy pickaxe. Can we how about 2 silvers and we trade with you? I've got some fine torches, water resistant.
I mean, do you want the pickaxe?
Would you like these water resistant torches? You could
We have plenty
lower the
of those.
price for 5.
What did you say? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
We have plenty of torches for sale.
Oh, I see. You know, man, it's
Perhaps when you find some more treasure down there, or when you find ore down there that you can't dig up, you might come back looking for a pickaxe.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. How about this? We borrow the pickaxe, and then when we get more
No
treasure
can do,
there, I will
sir.
pay you.
No can do.
Okay, shit. Okay, how about this? Bread mart. We get the pickaxe, and I guess come from my share. What do you say? I do think
No,
we probably need a pickaxe.
that's if we even get to like the ore. Um,
Wait, none of us went there before. We don't know we're gonna get an ore. There could be ore in just first level.
uh, if there's ore in the first level, I think it's probably already been mined out.
You never know.
I say we just go in and then we see what we see, and then we can come back another time.
How
More
much
prepared.
silver? How much silver do I have? You can.
You have, let's see. One moment, I'm gonna check. Since
Okay.
so Frederick is going through his pouches looking for his money. In the meantime, what the rest of you wanna do?
Could I ask the caravan if they've heard of any experiences of adventures in the mines or like yeah.
All right, you're gonna ask around. You're gonna ask about experienced adventurers in the mine, and then
Yeah.
anyone else want to take an action here?
Britamart's gonna go around asking
Mm.
if it's certain, or maybe if someone's seen like veins of ore on the first level.
Okay, and Lucius, do you want to try anything as the party is going around?
Yes. I'll ask if any like what type of adventures have come here. Like have new adventures come here or have or have like experienced adventures come here type things.
Okay, so we'll start with Bran. Bran, you stay here with the merchant in this small caravan. Frederick is going through his pouches with you. He's staying with the merchant too. The other two are going off to gather information elsewhere, perhaps. But Bran, you decide to ask him about other adventures who have gone down there, and the merchant nods and tells you, "Plenty. That that bunch over there, west of the entrance. All of them are adventurers."
I'd ask like, did you hear of like anything like that they said about like what it was like down there in the mine?
Well, it's light down there. Well, I would assume it's quite horrible. Uh, I haven't asked it myself personally. I've only managed to sell them trade goods. They don't really tell me about anything that occurs down there too often.
I'd thank the guy for the information and maybe like try to go to like the guys, I guess like you said by the mine and ask them about like what their experience was.
Okay, and then in the meantime, as that was happening, Lucius, where did you want to go to ask or gather information?
Where I was going to um I was going to speak to some adventurers. Some of the adventurers.
Alright, you see some adventurers east and west of the entrance at the moment. Most
Okay.
of them are encamped toward the east, but there are some to the west talking with other miners.
Some plus minors. Does any group look more experienced or
What do you mean by more experienced? More equipment?
like do they have more equipment? Do they look like do they have scars? Like are they veterans or outlying factors like that?
Most of the adventurers off to the east are resting up. Most are not even wearing armor at the moment. They're healing and resting, uh, tending to various wounds. Toward the west, you will see a group of them having a good time drinking and eating with the miners and discussing with them. Do any of these crowds interest you?
I'll go talk to the group of adventurers towards the east.
The east, the ones who are resting and recovering? Very well. And then in the meantime, Britomart, you went off to gather information as well. Who did you want to talk with?
I want to find a group of miners.
Okay, so off to the west are where most of the miners are encamped. There's about a
Yep.
dozen or so miners here. About three or four of them are talking with adventurers. Another six of them are preoccupied, and another three don't look very busy. So
I'll go
which?
for the ones that aren't very busy.
All right, you approach them. One is playing with an instrument. It's a harp. The other one is just smoking, and one is messing with a fire. As you approach the three miners here around this small fire, what do you want to say to them?
I want to greet them politely, and I'm gonna ask them if they know if there's any veins of ore on the first level of the dungeon, or if they've heard about anything like that.
Hmm. One kind of minds his own business, another one thinks, and one actually starts to talk with you. Huh. Veins of ore on the first level. Well, I can't say we've spotted any veins recently, but there's plenty of unclaimed ore, so to speak, lying around that we weren't able to exactly carry out all at once. Still plenty of it if you want to go deep enough. in the first level. I believe in the second level there might be a greater abundance of ore, and apparently some of the adventurers have gone so deep they even found silver besides copper ore, silver ore, and some even found gems, crystals, and other rare stones embedded in the rocks. That's believe in the third level depth. If you're willing to go that far.
I see. That's very helpful actually.
Best of luck.
All right, you too.
The one that was
Thanks.
thinking. Let's see if he has anything to say. Oh, sorry. I can't recall seeing any veins of ore down there, but I do remember that there's plenty of unclaimed ore down there that is in the minecart and the storage rooms and such. Just moved around ever since the mine was abandoned. We had to leave everything behind. I was one of the few miners back in the day that were working there. I was new to the job, but I do remember seeing plenty of ore, not exactly exported from the mine and brought to the village, just left. And the great holes or the great tunnels, the vast many tunnels that we dug up down there.
Okay. And do you know the exchange rate for this ore if we manage to bring some back?
I'm not too sure. The other miner, the first one you talked to. Oh yes, of
Yep.
course. I believe a fair price might mean depends on how I guess dense of the ore is. Copper wise, how much copper is within the ore, but the average pound of ore of copper ore might fetch you a single copper piece. Uh, it's typically worth more than a copper piece, but the services involved with it, breaking it down into the raw material, uh, therefore raw ore that's not broken down is a lot less than what it's truly worth. If you can break it down yourself and smelt the ore and sell it as pure copper, you could probably fetch maybe 10 copper pieces from one pound of ore, but simply selling the ore itself is one copper piece typically, if that makes any
Mm.
sense.
Yep, that makes plenty of sense. All right, you two. Best of luck. Hope you guys get your jobs back, and I will head back to the group.
Appreciate it, sir. You said your name was Britomart.
Oh yes, yes.
Pleasure to meet you. Hope to see you on your way back out. My name is Belden. And the other younger man
Alvin,
says, eh, I don't really go by a normal name around these parts. They call me the Terminator. And the other two men just shake their heads.
the Terminator.
That's right.
Sure, there's a good story about that, but
There
I'll have to
is.
listen to it next time.
Please come back again. Alright, you move on. And
Yep.
the next one to discuss is Frederick. You look through your
Oh
pouch.
man.
You finally found the one silver piece you had.
Oh shit. I guess I look for a long, long time then. All right. I'll pull the solar piece. I'm like, man, see, that's all I freaking got. It's better than nothing, eh?
The merchant kind of shakes his head. Would you like some torches, perhaps?
Okay. Here, here. You know, uh, you can just tell me like, no, you don't want the business, but but here's the question: can you afford to not lose this business? And I do have money. And when I get out of the mine, maybe I come with more money. And I promise I'll buy more of your merchandise when I come out. And I'll pay the pickaxe in full.
He kind of shrugs and says, sorry, I don't borrow any gear to anyone. I have to sell it brand new. The finest quality only.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying about anything. Here's the one silver coin. And when I come out, I will give you two silvers. It's not really borrowing. In exchange, here you can have the hell I have in my hand. Do I have anything of value? Is that like a rope or something?
Do you not have a character sheet?
I do not think I have the updated ones. You didn't send one into the chat, so I don't have the
I
updated
don't
one.
sell them or don't send them, so you have to take your own notes. But I have my notes too.
Okay.
So you want to look through your
Well,
equipment?
yeah, no, just give me one second. I'm just gonna search my history. Perhaps I can find something real quick. Cause I don't have like pencil in hand, so I can write it down. One sec. Oh,
All
jeez.
right, we'll come back to you.
Here we go. Yeah, so I'm saying I can trade him a mirror.
Hey, notes then. Very well. I'll have a look at your mirror then, and perhaps that might be a suitable trade.
Yep. So can I trade the mirror with the 1 silver, get a pickaxe?
A mirror and a silver for a pickaxe.
Yes.
Let's see if he accepts or not. +1 bonus. He's still uncertain. He's thinking about it. It's an 8. +1 again. Alright. After some thinking, he finally accepts your offer. Alright, very well. The mirror and silver piece, and this pickaxe is yours.
Alright, cool. And I'll trim my mirror and the silver piece for pickaxe. So I just add that to my inventory then. Dope. I think I'm finished here. I will meet up as a group.
Yep, one moment. I'm just going through my notes.
Okay.
Alright, so in the meantime, as that was happening, Lucius approached the party of, Lucius, you approached the group of adventurers, right? Or
The injured group.
the injured party, right? So you're approaching this crowd here, and there's about just 6 of them. Half of them have serious injuries, and the other half have light injuries. How do you want to approach, and what do you say?
I'll approach the lesser injured half, and he'll just kindly he'll walk up and he'll introduce himself, and so he'll walk up and he'll like, hello, my name's Lucius. Pleasure to meet you out here. And he will like mention towards their light injuries, and he would say, "Wouldn't happen to know what caused that, would you?"
So the 3 of them are spread out. I'll kind of describe them to you. But you see like a man at arms. You'll see a mercenary of sorts. You'll see another man at arms. So one of them is wearing a coat of scale, or no, a coat of mail, and a gambeson or ekaton, helmet, shield, and such is nearby. But most of his armor is off at the moment. It's just lying next to him. There's a 200 axe near him. Um, and there's another one. These guys have light wounds, by the way. He wears just a gambeson and a helmet. Um, you'll see that it's his leg that's injured. Looks like he stepped on a spike. Um, the other one, of course, it looks like he's just got some, uh, looks like side wounds, cuts and such. So, which one do you want to ask about their wounds? And the large one is a very large man. Uh, he's wearing what appears to be brigandine, but it looks like he's got a head injury. Bandages are wrapped around his head nearly entirely.
Uh, the large man is the first one for going with the 200.
You want to talk to the large one?
No, I'm asking, is the large one the first man you described to me?
Oh, the first one I described to you was also pretty large, but has a coat of scale, or no, mail armor nearby, and then a helmet and a shield. He's wearing a gambeson at the moment. He has the open side wounds, or not, they're not open anymore, but he has like side chest wounds, and then he's got some cuts on his arms.
Mm.
that are wrapped in
I'll
bandages.
talk. Yeah, I'll talk to him.
He's a larger or wider man. You approach him. What do you want to say to him?
Um, what did I say before? He'll walk up and he'll introduce himself. He'll be like, "My name's Lucius. Pleasure to meet you. And you wouldn't happen to know what caused that nasty wound, would you?" As he like mentions towards his wounds.
Oh, of course. I know what they were. Everyone knows what they were. Those pesky goblins got the best of me. Outnumbered me. Every flank. A goblin here, a goblin there. Fortunately, these two men were beside me within moments. I drove them off but barely. I almost didn't make it out. But thanks to this one, took a, took a mighty champion's flail to the face, saved my life. And he looks toward the biggest man of the group with the head injury.
Mm.
Thanks to him, I'm still here.
Well, I'm glad you have such loyal company. And he'll, you wouldn't happen to know where you found these creatures, would you? Since we don't wish to become as poor souls as you have.
Then you're in the wrong place, son. It's full of them. He looks toward the mine entrance.
Mm. From head to toe, eh? As he talks to him. Naked.
What was that?
He said from head to toe, eh? As he was talking to him about the mine. When he said it's full of goblins.
He just kind of sits there.
Mm. All right. Well then, I guess he'll go to talk to the larger man then, if he's willing.
Alright, you approach him. What do you want to say to him?
He'll introduce himself again. Hello, my name is Lucius. Pleasure to meet you. I've just spoken with your friend here. You seem like a a loyal man. You wouldn't happen to know anything about where the goblins that assaulted you are, would you?
He doesn't say anything to you.
Hmm. Very well. I mean, this guy's recovering. In that case, I'll just lastly go to the man with the leg injury.
What do you want to say to this one?
Same thing. He'll approach. Say his name's Lucius. Pleasure to meet him. Uh, I've spoke with your two. Well, not really spoken, but I've spoken with one of your companions. He seems to speak of you, greatly. Would you happen to know the location of the goblins of this mine?
The location of the goblins.
Yes.
Well, if you wander this mine long enough, you will definitely encounter them. As for the lair, I would say if you continue exploring toward the south, eventually arrive at their lair. There's plenty of them. Explore southward, and all the tunnels kind of lead toward the main place of refuge and their hoard of treasure.
Hmm. Lucius will um he'll crack his neck and he'll say, "I thank you for your kindness." And he'll say, "Hopefully, I'll meet you again. This time in better state of mind and body." As he walks away.
Be careful of traps. There are plenty of them.
Of course, as he waves an arm and continues away from the group.
Alright, and now we're gonna go to Bran. Bran, where did you go? You wanted to talk with a group of miners and adventurers?
Yeah.
Alright, so you approach the ones who are having a good time eating and drinking. How do you want to approach? They seem quite busy, right? Having a good time.
I guess I could say something saying like, hope I'm not pushing into like anyone's business here, but like, Would you mind if I ask how your experience in the mine was?
So there's about 6 of them here. 3 adventurers and 3 miners. Who do you want to ask? Or are you just trying to ask the whole crowd? They're quite rowdy. It's hard to get them to listen, perhaps, all at
The
once.
adventurers.
You approach the adventurers. The adventurers are a lot rowdier than the miners. So you try to talk with at least one of them and see how they react. Ah, hello there. My experience, huh? Well, we just got rich. And he looks toward a sack where you can see a bunch of copper ore. You see that there? I'm a rich man. I carried that sack all by myself. And guess what? My my fellow mates here, they all have their own sack of it too. Plenty of it. If you're willing to go deep enough, you can get yourself a full sack of ore. If you're careful, you can escape with it. And like us, enjoy your hard-earned, hard-gotten gains. And drink and eat and celebrate. And his mates pull him back in, and they continue singing a song that they're all just singing together with the miners. They're sharing it with the miners, it appears. So they're all celebrating together.
Could I then ask did you guys find any shortcuts around in the mine or to the treasure you got?
He's not really paying attention anymore. He's too drunk. But you want to keep asking?
Uh, they're probably too busy, so I'll probably stray back.
Okay. Uh, let's see. Going back to Breedomart. Breedomart, you talked to some of the crowd. Did you want to start regrouping, or are you looking for more information?
No, I started heading back to the group.
Alright, so you're ready to. You're wandering around looking for your party members, and you're able to gather with Frederick again, who's also doing the same. And
Yep.
soon you're able to regroup with Bran, who's doing the same. And Lucius, were you trying to find your party again, or were you still.
I'll go back to the party.
Alright. So
Oh,
after a
actually,
turn or so, you guys are able to regroup.
anybody have a 10-foot pole?
I have a
Yes,
pike.
I have a 10-foot pole. I bought one.
Okay.
You brought
Uh,
one? Good stuff.
I will also tell the party about what I heard about the ore. There's unclaimed ore, so we can possibly gather that and maybe just leave and make some money.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
also tell the party about the goblin lair supposedly to the south and to watch out for traps.
All right. Let's get the show on the road.
Okay,
Alrighty.
so you approach the entrance to the mine at this point, and it's gonna get dark pretty quickly. The amount of daylight that goes through provides maybe enough light to see 20 feet or so down. It gradually begins to descend down the slopes, though, as soon as you're trying to enter. Beyond the main entrance is a 10-foot wide tunnel, but 8 to 10 feet tall. The entrance is quite narrow, only allowing one to squeeze through at a time. So whoever's in first, if there is something beyond the entrance, you're up first to fight. So far it seems calm and quiet though. The daylight provides enough light to see that the tunnel is currently empty. At least it appears to be empty. So before you go in, I would recommend it's time to equip some weapons, tools, supplies and such. Maybe figure out the marching order as well. So starting with Frederick, what would you like to equip?
Longbow,
Okay. And do you want to be in the front, the middle, the back? Do you know what rank you want?
the middle,
Okay, so second or third? I will say
second.
second rank, yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Keep in mind we also have Oswald with us. He was a man at arms.
Yep. He'll be in the front.
Close to a fighter, but not quite a fighter yet.
Do you roll for his stats?
He doesn't get stats, he's a man at arms.
Okay.
Alright. Lucius, what would you like to equip?
I'll equip my shield and mace.
Yo, Bradmore, I am on rank 2. You mess it up.
Yeah.
It's Frederick.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'll go in rank 2 though, next to Frederick.
Okay, Captain
Because
Lucius is rank 2.
because if we do run into any undead, I'll be of use. But for the most part, I'm just a weaker fighter.
Alright, next is Bran. You gonna be in the front?
Yeah.
And you wanna equip your pike?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Dude, Pike is... You can sit in the second rank if you have a Pike, right?
I'll be fighting in the front rank.
Oh, then you can poke them from afar. Yeah, that's good.
I
Alright.
should also give you my 10-foot pole too, since you're gonna be the one in the front if you'd want it. Right.
Oswald is in the front or in the back?
Oswald's gone.
Oh, that's right.
He
Even the Bane dude, he went to fight dragons, man.
yeah.
He
Last
want to
I heard,
become a legend.
Let's think about the legend of Oswald when we get back.
Yes.
We could give the 10-foot pole to like the man at arms guy who will fight in the front rank with me.
Wait a second.
Alright, so we're gonna
Britmore,
take
did you
Hoodred.
say he becomes Saint Oswald?
No, I'm gonna sing the legends of Oswald.
Oh, legend. Okay, I saw he becomes Saint Oswald. Like, what? What did he do? But for all we know, the Dragon
Was
probably had a
invited
good
to
meal.
on an adventure, called his crew cowards, didn't show up the next morning.
What weapons does the retainer have again?
Typical 5e player. Let's see. Alright, Hoodred.
Yeah, well, my friend and I were playing the Warhammer 40k TTRPG, and there was like 3 people just straight out didn't show up, and I canceled the whole session. I was dumb.
Flakers.
Yep.
Fake friends. Alright.
What's the name of retainer guy? I forgot his name.
His name is Hoodred. He's a man at arms.
Say it. Portrait.
Hoodred. I'll send it in
Per-
replay.
Portrait. Okay, I didn't understand that.
What type of weapons does Pertrit have?
He's got a polearm, which is his Danax or poleaxe.
Ooh, Hertrit. See.
So he can be at second rank or first. And then of course his sidearms, and for close combat he's got a club and a dagger.
Dope.
Okay.
He also has a sling for his bare minimum missile weapon. Guessing it's to shoot something from afar.
Okay. Should I give Brand? Do you want my 10-foot pole? Or should I give it to Bertrand?
Yeah, it'd be good if we give it to Pritchard and like we can we'll have like 2 people in the front like poking enemies from afar.
Well, no, it's only a pole. It's not an actual weapon.
Well, you can poke around with your spike though. That's like a 10-foot paw. Plus a pointy end too.
You could.
Oh yeah.
The only
well,
issue
I
with
guess-
using your pike is if you trigger a trap, the pike will break then, right? Versus a pole, it's cheap. It's
Yeah.
1 silver. So if you break
Yeah.
That's
the
true.
pole, you can always replace it easily. But
Yeah.
a pike is 7 silvers. That's worth 7
Yeah.
different 10-foot poles.
Yeah. So I'll give my
Oh.
pole to the retainer.
The retainer?
Oh.
Hoodred? Okay.
Mhm.
So Hoodred would sling his polearm, use the pole, and then if he needs to switch to his weapon, he just drops the pole, takes out his polearm, and fights.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so Hoodred's at the front, first rank, wielding the pole.
And he could be like poking ahead for traps, so we don't, because they did tell us about them, in case we stumble into one.
Alright, he equips his pole
Oh,
and a
yeah.
sling, so he can shoot monsters if he sees one up ahead.
Well,
We still need
Bretmore
a
on the
torchbearer.
rank 3.
You guys haven't chosen a torchbearer yet. I would
Bretmore.
say, oh, Britmart will be it.
Or
He's in the
well,
back though. You'll need someone
yeah.
in the front to see ahead.
Frederick, you
So
could.
between Hudrit or Bran. Bran
Frederick,
has a pike. He can carry the torch in one hand and drop it if he needs to use the pike. But then at that point, you can't really see the monster anymore. The other option is Hudrit takes the torch. But if he takes the torch, then he can't even switch to his polearm. Because unless he
yeah,
drops both his
Lucius, how about
pole and
you one hand holy symbol, one hand torch? How about that?
Oh well, you're a spellcaster, right? Do you have an extra
No,
hand in
no,
your hand?
I have a longbow. I just threw bow.
You have a longbow.
Yes, that's why in
Lucius, you
second
might be
rank.
better off taking up the torch and shield. Because what's the point of having a mace if you're in second rank, right? You can't even
Yeah, I
use
guess
it.
so.
So
Yeah, I'll go ahead and torch and shield then. Or yeah, I guess torch and shield. If I ever get into trouble, I can just drop the torch and pull my mace. So,
mhm.
or just drop the
Don't.
torch and pull the symbol. Well, I'm just saying if we ever get in trouble.
Yeah, you can just pass me the torch. If you drop it, we can't see
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah, or just pass you the torch.
Yeah.
Breeder Mart, you're in the back then. All right, Breeder Mart's rear guard. What are you equipping?
I can attack from third rank with a pike, correct?
That's right. As long as there's
Yeah,
not a tight formation in the front.
yeah, I'll do the pike, and then I'll give Lucius one of my torches.
All right.
I have a
Okay.
tinderbox. I can let it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Go down that demon for me. Is this a regular torch or is it a waterproof torch?
I was lying about that.
All right.
Oh,
So we're gonna take a small break. We haven't had a small break yet, so we're going to take a 5-minute break then.
okay.
All right.
The classic lie about
So
the torch scheme.
I tried lowering the price, but didn't work.
Hey, even I believe you, man. So I mean,
water resistance? God, dude.
yeah, I was about to say a water-resistant torch. You don't see those often, but hey, you never know.
You know, yeah.
Imagine I trade my spell book for a pickaxe. That'd be hilarious.
Well, I doubt he'd take that because to him it's just a bunch of words on a book.
Yeah, it's true. It's just a book.
Just a book.
Man, like the only reason why I have the level 2 spell knock is because if I don't have that, we're just dead. So I'm like, okay, I just pick knock then.
Yeah. In
If
case
I,
we ever get. Yeah, we don't want a chest incident again.
yeah, and I was thinking just roll for it, see if I can get it. I'm like, if I don't get it, cat's gonna die anyway. So like, okay, I just pick knock.
I gotta get it very quick.
Because as me, I just gonna pick invisibility. Hello.
I was gonna say we have so many fighters. We have Bran with a pike. We have Purchit, and then we have Burrito Mart with a
I'm ready for
oh
that. Yes, I'm trying to
yeah.
grab
So we just have an array of attacks in the party.
How's everything, baby? What? Yeah, I'm gonna go.
We subtract our AC when we have armor, correct?
I mean, there's no different for me to go or stay home for. It's good to see.
Or I'll wait
Yeah,
till
see some.
Purchit gets back.
Like, my name's Henry. Probably don't remember. Probably will not see. But by the way, I told my thoughts on the day. I had some toast and some pan fried tofu. Pan fried tofu? Pan What? Before it's garbage, of course, because tofu definitely more than $1. The onion, one from the new right? It's just it's because the bottoms, right? Really helpful is all the forward. Forward. What? Yeah. Problem is that. What? We're gonna get four forward. What? Come on, sunflower. Yeah. Thing is, I can't wipe my pan. I can't wash my pan because they have a little something pleasant, so I can't really put water in. Afterward, yes. Or not. 1 second. So, what? You're going to bed now? Well, good. I mean, like, talk a lot today already. Anyway.
Hello.
Did your mom say anything about me after I said happy birthday?
Really good.
Alright, we are going to be resuming. Hello,
Yeah,
Boomer.
I'm back again.
Lucius. We're going to be resuming the adventure.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is everyone back?
You know what you meant?
I'm here.
Alright. Can hear Frederick, but I don't think he's here.
Oh, Egan, I forgot to mention I would have my my shield on my shoulder, like usual.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Armor subtracts from AC, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The guy be like, please, Jeremy, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. My bad. Can't help that. What? Guys like that? Here's the guys like that, they're fake. When it actually come down to it, they're fucking fake. Oh shit. Anyways, fake. So what? Yeah, I was gonna say, are you gonna go to church tomorrow? Cool. Sounds good. Yep, you have a good night, yeah, baby. I say have a good night, babe. Yes, I'm just playing out the pot because I decided to play it after he told me don't swipe it.
Alright, we're going to resume. So at the front we have here characters Bran and Hudrid taking first rank, and then we've got some pikes poking into the front or past the front lines. Okay, so are we ready to descend? Your torchbearer is Lucius, whose torch did we light for Lucius?
I
Was
am
this one
back,
of
guys.
Britomart's?
Brutal Art. Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that's one
Sorry, I'm
torch.
back.
Britomart. We hear you.
I was just talking to my wife. Can you hear me
All
now?
good. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah. Try if you can, if you hear the conversation already happening, try not to interrupt. We can hear you.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
I was already describing something and you interrupted multiple times, but it's okay. Next
My bad.
time though, you're good. All right. So at this point, you're descending into a 10-foot wide tunnel about 8 to 10 feet tall, and it leads into an open area just beyond. This open area appears to be some type of cavern that continues southwest. So as you move through the tunnel though, let's see if there's anything here of importance. It's pretty empty so far, and it feels cool in here compared to it feels cooler in here compared to outside. Outside was a bit perhaps warmer. There was a cold breeze outside because it's winter, but down here it starts to get even colder. It doesn't smell like much, just what you would think a cave might smell like. It smells wet and muddy a bit. Um, there are some webs clinging to the ceilings, very thin, and it's dirty in here. Alright, you're now descending into this cavern. It's continuing southwest. If you want to continue exploring, which means careful observation, movement, and mapping and such, you can either continue southwest, west, or south.
When we entered, we were coming from the east, correct?
When you entered, you were coming from the north. The entrance is going toward, or as you go in, you go south to enter.
Okay, so we come in
Guys.
north and we go south. Okay.
You're mapping this, right, Brito?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing, guys. They say we go straight south, all the way. We're gonna go to Goblin Camp. That's where we're
Yeah.
going?
No. I think we should go west and avoid the entire Goblin Lair. I feel like living another day would be
Man,
beneficial.
that's where the treasure is. Come on, man.
Uh, Look, there could still be ore that we're looking for that they haven't taken yet.
Us.
So
Okay, alright. Fair enough.
yeah, I'm fine with going west.
So the party discusses which way to explore, and most are saying west. Some say south. What's their vote?
West. I agree, west. Just go west.
Okay, so
Yep, I say west.
Frederick, Betamart, Lucius are all exploring to the west. Bram, what about you?
West.
West as well. So four of you exploring to the west. Hudred follows his master. At the moment, this would be the one who employed him, and the party, of course. But the one who had employed him was Frederick, right? So Frederick, you'll be in
Yep.
charge of um, perhaps providing him his main source of orders, right? Everyone can order him around though, but whatever Frederick does, he typically will do. So as you explore west,
Oh.
you're moving into an area of the cavern that approaches some type of exit. There's a very narrow exit up ahead past this 10 foot of space. So this is about 10 feet from where you approached. So you would first enter the cavern, and then you would so to enter, of course, you would move south and then west. So as soon as you moved south into it, it was just kind of empty open cavern, and then toward the west, um, nothing really new here. Let's see, just kind of approaching what appears to be a narrow entrance. Let's see if there's anything else to be seen here. We are carefully prone on the floor with one 10-foot pole, and that one 10-foot pole does trigger a trap. It does press against or push down into some mud, a muddy patch of ground that breaks apart pretty easily and reveals a large wooden spike below it. It is just a small foot trap for someone to step on. This is about very close to the narrow exit way. So if you were to maybe run toward the narrow exit way, you would definitely step onto this, right? Break through the floor and have your foot get spiked by a wooden stake. How would you like to continue? West through the narrow exit, or do you want to go back east, or do you want to go south or southeast?
What do you think, Frederick? Frederick?
Sorry, I mute myself. I was saying that ask the person with the map, Bretmore, where you want to go?
I said we continue west. I marked where
All
the
right.
spike trap is. He can. How far had we been traveling from the? So that we went south through the entrance and then we turned west. How far
Yep.
were we traveling until we came across that muddy patch?
About 30 feet from the entrance
About
of the
30 feet.
entire mine. Yep, you went 10
Okay.
feet or 20 feet south, then 10 feet west.
Nope. Yeah,
Okay.
we keep going west.
Alright, you're exploring through this crack in the wall. You press through it, and it leads you into a 10-foot wide tunnel, or roughly 10 feet wide, not exactly 10 feet anymore, it's pretty narrow. It's about 8 to 10 feet tall, and your torch reveals halfway across, about 5 feet ahead of you. Well, actually, your torch is in second rank, right? Or is it in first?
First
Okay,
rank.
you only can
No,
see
second rank.
Yes,
5
I
feet
can.
ahead of you. If you had it in front of you, you can see 10 feet ahead. So not until you're halfway through the tunnel, you start to see a large amount of webs on the walls. These
Oh,
webs are a
yeah,
lot denser
spiders.
than the previous chamber. They're actually covering the tunnel ahead of you, right? So if you were to continue west, you'd be walking through webs
Mm,
or onto webs. They're
Don't
not
do
very
that.
thick or anything. They're just abundant.
yeah, we might have to go back.
We go back.
Mhm.
Explore back. Okay, so uh, moving through this area. Let's see. Hold in and detect this time. Instead, as you explore into the area, carefully prodding the floor as you moved, unfortunately, one of you uh, steps on a trap anyway. The pole went right over it, and you ended up walking right over this trap. This person was one of the persons in the first rank, which is going to be, um, let's see, either Bran or Hudred. We'll
Wait,
decide randomly. So Bran, odds or evens? Bran,
Huh?
odds or evens?
Evens.
Alright, it was Hudred. Hudred nearly stepped on the trap potentially. He's going to make a saving throw. We'll give him a paralysis save since you guys did carefully observe and prod the floor. Fails and steps on the trap anyway. One trap that was not triggered by the pull, unfortunately. Um, his foot goes through the floor, and he ends up stepping on a wooden stake. It causes his foot 3 points of damage. So it does not exactly take off his foot, but it does injure him. He's not dead, he did not lose his foot. But if he was the average man, this could have definitely took out his leg. Instead though, what actually happened was his foot broke the spike instead. He still took some damage, but he smashed the spike upon falling through, and it bent and broke. He gets out of it, right? It was as deep as his leg would go, maybe a meter deep. Pulls his leg out and see there's like a cut and scuff marks over his leg. Um, could have broken the leg, but didn't, right? Could have lost the foot, but didn't.
shit. You okay, man?
I've been better.
Okay, then. You think you can continue?
Of course. 'Tis
Alright,
but
then.
a flesh wound.
That's what I like to hear. Tough guy.
Alright, you guys make your way back into the main cavern. From here you can continue east, southeast, or south along the western wall.
Would there be like a way from there? Maybe we could like try to like find a way like secretly around like the goblin lair, so like so we attract their attention or what?
Yeah,
Brand, sorry, you're a bit muffled. If you can fix your mic, I can't really hear you.
Could we find a way, like maybe like from here, like south somewhere, to like find like a secret way, like around the goblin lair, so we don't attract any attention?
I don't even know how to get to the layer 2 for the goodies, but anyways.
We could just go west. No, not west, east. Sorry.
East is
West
we're going
east.
back.
Oh, yeah,
Or
east. East is the way back. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
we go southeast.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Are we going southeast? Okay.
Okay. Your party's now exploring southeast. As you explore into this part of the cavern, you'll start to see up ahead on the floor as you're carefully prodding what appears to be these strange mushrooms growing out of the rocks. They're roughly the same color, but more so blackish, and it starts to smell weird as well. Smells musty, a bit bitter in the air.
Oh shit, vegan food. Guess anybody want some vegan food?
What?
Guess
What do they do?
try it. You'll know.
Nah. No, no, you tell me.
No.
I have no fucking clue.
I mean,
Uh,
Red, like you're a magician. You should know myconology, right?
I
You deal
study
with
magic. I don't
mushrooms.
study. I don't. Okay, dude. My
HR.
magic, real magic. There's not like mushroom guy high magic. Okay.
Do you guys want to just take them just in case?
Mhm.
It might be
We don't
valuable to
even
your
know.
potion maker.
We don't even know it's poisonous. Can we check it's poisonous?
How would you like to check?
Do we have like perch or like I don't know, maybe like poke the mushrooms if like the pole or something, see like anything will happen?
You want to
Yes.
prod this
Yeah.
area?
Yeah.
Alright, you start
Right.
poking at the mushrooms. As soon as you start poking into them, they begin to kind of shrink up and explode with spores, right? They shrivel up
Okay.
and then spores burst out.
Good thing we were.
Cloud of spores surrounds the mushroom and it continues
Okay.
to
Let's get
spread.
the.
Radamar will hold her breath as we go around. If we go around.
You guys want to continue in
Yes.
this direction? The floor to the southeast is covered in them.
Oh, cover.
Oh.
There's no way to avoid them.
Not the ones to the southeast.
Okay, well, looks like we're going to have to go south.
So we had to go south. All right. Fuck it. Okay. We go
You try.
east.
Yep. You
Go
try
back
your
like
best.
yeah. We go
Right.
southwest, and then we go south.
So
Like
you want to go southwest at this point?
yeah, like go back
You
to where
still
we
see
were.
mushrooms to the southwest. Do you still want to continue this way?
Wait, what?
Mushrooms to
Entire-
the southwest.
Oh, my bad. So we're going northeast again. Like the way back. What is that?
Want to
That'd
go
be
northeast?
yeah, northeast.
Yeah, northeast. Are we going
Explode
north?
to the northeast. This area looks familiar. There's nothing in this area. There's a tunnel to the north leading upward toward the exit of the mine. Toward the west is open space. North wall continuing west toward a familiar area.
We go south.
South, you turn around to the south, and it's the area you were just at, right? Pretty much. So you're exploring south, and carefully prodding the floor ahead. And as you prod the floor, it's just rocky at first, and then you start to see mushrooms up ahead.
Wait, what?
Okay, guys. So let's.
There are
So
mushroom all around.
Toward the south.
So we went to south. We went to southwest. Is mushroom. We go west. That is for spider web, and we go south, and it's mushroom. So where can we even go?
well, if we head south from the western entrance where we encountered the spider webs, I don't know if there's mushrooms going south from there.
But we may encounter man-sized spiders.
So right now you see, as you explore toward the south, you see mushrooms toward the south, right? But they're mostly toward the west. So if you
Oh,
continue
so
along
we
the east wall, you can go past them.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go alongside the east wall. Continue to go south, I guess.
What if we poke like a
Alright,
couple
you avoid the
mushrooms at a
mushrooms,
time?
which are to the west. You explore
No,
south along the east wall.
Okay. Yes. No, we're not poking mushrooms, bro.
Okay, we're not poking
What
till
if
we
we did
stop
like a
prodding at this
couple, then
point.
like one at a time and like ran back and rinsed and repeated it?
So tell me whenever you want to try prodding the floor and when you stop. Because if you don't tell me when if you don't tell me when you start prodding again, then you're just gonna walk around not prodding. But if you don't tell me you don't stop prodding, then you might just, of course, trigger a trap, and it might be
Yeah,
an
so we're gonna
explosive one.
still use the 10-foot pole right now, prodding the floor.
You wanna prod even though there's mushrooms up ahead?
Fuck. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go around the east wall to avoid the mushrooms,
Right.
but
But if
we'll
you prod the
prog
floor
in
ahead, you
the.
might tap a mushroom to the west if you prod closer to the west, right?
Okay,
Accidentally.
then
And
we're
it'll
not
trigger it.
gonna we're not
Do you
gonna
wanna
do it
stop
until we
prodding?
pass the mushrooms.
Okay, sounds
Yes.
good. Okay, so let's see. We're now passing the mushrooms. We're exploring toward what appears to be the southeastern corner of the cavernous chamber that you're at. However, you'll see that the south wall is not exactly rocky anymore. Not exactly as dirty as the rest of the walls. It's more so smooth. Um, a smooth stone wall to the south. There's still a bit of web, but not as much, and it looks like it's just a particularly a circular area. It's a smooth stone wall, whereas the rest is cavernous still.
So we're gonna use the 10-foot pole again to check for traps, and I'm gonna keep going south, I guess.
Toward the south again is this smooth stone wall. You can either continue exploring west or check out the south wall or the east wall. You're in the southeastern corner of the cavern, and that's pretty much it so far.
Can we check the wall? The smooth wall. Perhaps there's a hidden door there. What do you guys think?
It's
Yeah.
it's worth a shot. I mean,
Yeah, worth a shot.
So we don't have to go back to the mushrooms or the web. Oh yeah, we'll check the south wall.
Alright, so you'll see, you look along the south wall, you're prodding and such, and you notice that there's like, it's smooth, and there's a large mechanism covered in webs on the east wall next to it. It appears to be connected to some chains into the ceiling. Also on the floor at this point is the remnants of a uh, like a track. Like
Crack?
there's remnants of a cart track, a mining cart
Uh,
track. You
where'd
see
that
it
lead
on the
to?
floor. It leads straight toward the south wall.
Okay, let's pull the mechanism. I think they're gonna open up the hidden door or something where we're gonna lead us to further track.
Did
Yeah.
you want to spend some time detecting traps, or do you want to just start opening the door with the mechanism?
Well, I say we use the mechanism. What do you guys say?
There's a large wheel that you can spin, connected to the chains that go up into the ceiling.
Yeah.
I'd say it's worth it, expecting just to be on the safe side.
All right then. We inspect
So
the track, and then we're gonna use the mechanism after.
Frederick
Well,
is
no, I
detecting
want
traps
to.
on the track. Breedemart, where do you want to detect traps?
I want to look at the mechanism.
Okay, you detect traps on the mechanism. And Lucius?
I'll help Bruno Mart. You know, just like, hold up the torch, try to give him a better view. You know.
Mm-hmm. Provide torchlight to Breedemart. Do you want to search anything as you're providing torchlight? You can still detect while
Yeah,
providing light.
yeah. I'll still detect. I'll help him with the mechanism.
Okay, so you detect traps on the mechanism with Breedemart. Frederick detects traps on the floor tracks. And then Brand, what do you want to do?
Could I tap the mud floor around with my pack to see if there's like any items lying around in there?
And where?
Like mud floor.
on the floor?
Yeah.
You're just tapping to see if there's an item?
Yeah.
I mean, you can just observe. I mean, unless you're trying to tap for like a secret entrance on the floor.
Wouldn't there be like items hidden in the mud though?
There's no mud here. It's just dirt and rock.
Oh, I guess
So right
let's
now you see
observe.
no other items but dirt and rock. And the train tracks, or not train tracks, but cart tracks on the floor. Leading toward the circular wall on the south. Or toward the south.
I'll just observe what's going on with the train tracks then.
What did you say?
I'll just observe what's going on with, I guess, with like the tracks then.
Observe the tracks for what? Just it leads
I
to
guess
the
like
south wall. Is that what you're trying to figure out?
sure.
Well, I just told you it leads to the south wall. So, is there anything else you want to check?
Uh, no, that's pretty much. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep on watching like what's everyone doing then.
All right then. You'll stand watch. Turn of searching. Frederick, what's your wisdom?
Oh shit. 1 sec. 12.
After a turn of observation, most are uncertain. Nothing new was discovered. The tracks, you detect tracks. You detect traps on the tracks, and you were not able to observe any traps. And for the wheel mechanism, the lever mechanism of sorts, right? Nothing seems to be, nothing appears to be trapped either. You'll just see a very dirty, uh, sticky-looking wheel lever connected with chains into the ceiling.
Hmm. Well, I guess we could go ahead and just activate it if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay,
Right.
who wants to do it?
Who's the closest? Well, I'm
I
saying,
say the I say retainer.
is it?
Brian
It's
gonna
just
open up.
well, if we, it's just, is it a lever? Correct.
It's a wheel lever. You have to turn it.
Oh, oh, you have to turn it. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm fine with the retainer.
Y'all look toward the retainer. He shakes his head. I'm not touching that. I'm here to
All
fight.
right.
I say Brian and retainer, both.
Are you fine with that, Brian? You want to turn the
Sure.
All right, Brian, you want to grab the wheel?
Yeah.
Okay. You grab it. You start turning it by yourself, or do you want some help?
I guess
I
me and the
said
retain.
the retainer can help him, right?
The retainer shook his head. Like I said, it's
Mm.
very
Oh,
dirty looking. Right? He doesn't want to touch it.
He'll get it open eventually. But
I
I guess
say I'll help him. Frederick help him.
Okay.
I'll
Two
keep
of you
on
grab
watch.
at the wheel and start to turn it together.
Yep.
Strength of 2 men. See if you can play as more than 2 men. Together, you're able to start turning it, and indeed, lots of noise is being made. Right? The chains start to screech. Right? For a whole time. It's screeching and screeching. You try to turn it as quickly as you can, so you don't have to make noise too long. Now, as you're turning this wheel, uh, while when the door's just about to crack open, and you're trying to keep turning it, when you move your hand to turn the wheel even more, you realize your hands are stuck to the wheel. So you only get it to crack open before you can't even turn it anymore. Your hands are just stuck at an awkward position. You're glued to the wheel.
Oh,
Both of you are.
Mm,
Your arms and hands as you turn it. And it's very sticky.
very sticky. Mm,
Without noise though, with the crack, that's also attracted a lot of sound. It's a guaranteed encounter roll.
mm.
Something is coming, and you guys are stuck to the wheel.
right.
Let's see.
So who's stuck to it?
Two characters, our hands are and arms are stuck to the wheel.
Right.
That's Luce, or that's Bran and Frederick.
Mm.
First level rookie mistake as third level characters. Didn't detect traps thoroughly enough, right? There's other ways to detect traps than just with your eyes. Okay,
Uh,
so
Fuck.
Alright.
you
Okay.
guys are stuck and monsters are coming. What do you do?
Can I get out of it? How can I get out of it?
Me and
Want to chop
Burrito,
your
do you
arms
want?
off?
no, Lucius, hold the
Me-
torch close to the wheel.
Oh,
See if you can heat
yeah.
up the glue.
Yeah,
And
I'll heat it up and you pull Bran, and then you and Bran can pull off Frederick. All right, let's go. Let's go. We don't have much
Okay.
time.
Okay.
So
And
Lucius, what's your move?
I'm going to try and see if I could heat up the glue on the handle.
Okay, so you bring the torch under the handle and start to try to melt the glue.
Yep.
Okay, and then as you're doing that, Brand, do you want to just try to pull free with your strength
Sure.
or something else? Do you have a better idea? That's a very simple, basic idea, but it might not work, right?
Do I
You have a
still have
clever
like
idea
my
in mind?
do I still have like my pike equipped in my hand, or like did I like unequip it when I tried?
You unequipped it when you, of course, grab the wheel naturally.
Oh, then I'll just try to pull away from it with my strength then.
Okay, and Fedric,
Can you just knock
can you just knock?
to oh,
Can you use your
to
hands to cast a spell? Your hands are stuck, right? So you can't cast a spell.
ugh. I got to
Um,
wait for the glue to melt off.
Alright then. And Britomar, do you have a better idea?
do we hear
Or do you
any
want to prepare
noises
for
of
combat?
monsters coming or
We
no?
hear them. They're something was pulled in by the sound that you guys made from the chain. As
What-
you guys
Can we
waited, you
tell what
started to hear.
direction?
It sounds like flapping creatures are flying toward you, like
Oh
bats.
shit!
They're coming from the northwest or
From the
southwest. I mean,
northwest, southwest.
yes, they're flying toward you at this very moment. They'll be here in a
Uh,
couple rounds.
I'm gonna go get hold of Brandon. I'm gonna try to pull him free. I'm gonna help him try to pull him free.
So two people, Brand's just trying to brute force it, and you're trying to brute force him.
Yep.
Let's see
But
what happens.
also they got the glue melting too. So
Yep, the glue. You put the torch under it, and as soon as you bring the torch under it, you start to see the black goop. It starts to smell a particular oily scent, right? Like tarish, oily, right? And it starts to smoke up, right? Do you want to keep doing this?
It starts
Let's see.
to.
It's starting to smoke up very quickly.
Okay. I will hold it to it for a second, then I'll pull it away because I don't want to catch these guys on fire.
cookies are
With the brute
yeah.
force, two of you just pulling and pulling, and what actually happens is, Bran, if you remember, your character wears clothes as a first form of protection. So what actually happens is your gloves pull free, your tunic or sleeves tear off, and you're just sleeveless slash gloveless, right, for the time. So, and gauntletless if you had any gauntlets on. But you didn't have to cut off your arms, you just had to cut off your sleeves and gloves, right? So, those are torn off. Frederick is still there. You guys can cut him free if you want. Just take off his clothes, right? But before that can happen, of course, the wheel catches fire and explodes in flames. Frederick, you immediately take an intense explosion of fire damage, along with Lucius, 8 fire damage. Lucius explodes in flames for 1 damage, just barely licking you. But Frederick explodes in flames and took 8 damage.
Fuck.
Okay. So Frederick
Okay.
is at, what's your max
2.
hit points? You're at 2 of
10.
10. And you're still on fire for one more round unless someone puts it out. It takes
Yeah.
one round to put it out, someone's gotta pat you.
Yeah, I'll put it out.
Alright,
I'll put it out,
you
of
can't
course.
put it out because you're still stuck, so someone has to put you out.
I'll put it
Someone
out.
who's not on fire. So
I'll
who
put
wants
it
to put
out.
him out?
I'll put it out.
Lucius, you don't want to put yourself out? You're about to take fire damage again for one
Oh,
more round.
I'm about to. Okay, no, I'll put myself
Pat
out.
yourself out or pat him out?
I'll pet myself out.
Okay.
Dude.
How
Okay,
many
Well,
points do you
I,
have, Lucius?
My sleeves were torn out, like stuck to the wheel, right?
What was that, Bren?
My sleeves were like torn out and like stuck to the wheel, right?
You're no longer stuck to the wheel. Your gauntlets, your sleeves are all still stuck on the wheel. All that
Yeah,
pulling forced their clothes to just rip. Now your arms are
I
exposed
just
to
try
the
to like
diseases
cut
of
the sleeves like stuck to the wheel like and cut them into like strips maybe and like or like I don't know like some piece of like cloth to like try to like take the fire off of Frederick.
Well, the whole wheel's on fire now, so anything that was stuck on it is on fire, right? So
Oh.
you want to go grabbing your flaming cloth from the wheel?
No.
Okay, so I'll ask you your next action in a moment. But first, Lucius is patting himself out. Frederick, as you stand there, what do you want to do? You're still burning for 1 round.
Oh, I'm gonna try to pat the fire out by cutting myself loose from the wheel, then pat the fire out. Or
Alright,
I
your
calling for
arms are
help.
stuck
Somebody
on it,
can
right?
pat
So
out.
someone has to cut you free or pat the flames out. So you
Has the
you just stand there trying to figure it out, I guess. Rita Mart, your
Wait.
action.
has the
Oh,
glue
fuck.
melted though, since it's caught on fire?
It's still burning, but it's melting, but it's burning right now. It's got to burn first.
Can
Um,
somebody help me to put out? Because I'm gonna die next turn.
okay, so stop interrupting. Otherwise, they won't be able to help you, right? Because then you're talking to them while they're thinking about what to do, and then you're just gonna be dead. Um, Rita Mart, your action.
I'm gonna go over and pat Frederick, try to pat him off the fire, and I'm gonna yell to Hudrid if he has a knife or a dagger to help cut him free. So he's
Okay,
cut his clothes off.
and then Bran, I'll come back to you now. What's your action this round? You're like thinking about grabbing the flaming cloth off the wheel, but you thought otherwise, and as you're about to change your mind, you can hear something about to fly down onto your party's position, right? So what do you do?
Could me and Purger like keep guard and like try to keep our weapons up? Like I'll equip my pike again.
hmm You unsling your pipe, brace for the impact instead of helping Beatamart, and Hudrit, hearing Beatamart in the background, prepares for combat instead as well. Or actually, no, he would help his master out first. So he's patting out the flames, pulling out a dagger, right, to cut the sleeves loose. Before all that can happen, of course, or as that is all happening, a large flock of winged creatures with large beaks fly down to your party's position. Let's see how many there are. Hopefully there aren't too many to deal with. Things can get really bad very quickly if you make the wrong move. So 8 of them. Alright. So they fly down to your party's position with a +2 bonus to hit. You might recognize what these are. Let's see. For your front line, there's Bran and there's Hudrit. I would say about 3 of them on each of them, and then about 2 of them on those who are trying to help Frederick. So one on Briedemar and one flew into Lucius as the 2 of you pull on Frederick, who you're both kind of protecting with your bodies. So the first 3 go for, of course, Bran. Let's see if Bran is hit or not. 8 plus 2,
Would he
that's
get to
a
stab them first?
10. That's a miss. Second, nat 20. Third, 8 plus 2, 10. Miss. One hits, jabs its beak into you, while the other 2 kind of fly down at you, but cannot penetrate through your armor, or don't even have a chance to hit you. So the one that lands on you manages to jab its beak into the gap of your armor, ends up piercing into your armpit with its long beak, dealing a total of, so far, 1 point of damage. It's a D3, so 1 point. Brad, how many hit points do you have?
14.
Okay, yeah, 13 now. Okay, the next 3 attacked Hudrit. Let's see if Hudrit survives. Hudrit wears a helmet, and let's see, I think he had, yeah, just a helmet on. That was it. Let's see. One hit, 2 misses. He's hit once for a total of 1 damage as well. He was already wounded earlier, but he still stands. He's one of the strongest men you might have met. Let's see. But he will not stay strong for too much longer, right? One of these jabbed its beak into him, landed its beak into his, it looks like his thigh. So it's got it in a good spot in his thigh, starts to suck blood out of him. And the last 2, one flew into Breedomart. Let's see if it hits him or her. Breedomart, you avoid the creature, fortunately, and then the other one also misses Lucius. So they flew into the wall, right? And now they're flapping around trying to get their beaks into one of you, right? So back to your next round of action. So as they flew into the crowd, of course, they were very fast, but Bran and his retainer were able to actually get some strikes in as well as they flew in. So Bran, that happened while you were unslinging your your pike. That's why you weren't able to brace exactly. So they were not waiting for you to unsling the pike. But by the time you unslung your pike, I would say actually your retainer was already with his, or he had his 10-foot pull out and the sling out. So I would say he got one shot off with the sling before they closed in. So before they actually even closed in, he actually slung one stone while you were unslinging your pike for combat. He actually missed, I think. Yeah, it's a miss. And then, of course, once they jabbed into him, he would have dropped his sling and started pulling out his pull arm from his arm. That would take about 1 round. It's a large weapon. So while there's a monster draining him of blood, actually he would probably go for his dagger instead. No, wait, he wasn't
Wait,
helping you, right? He was helping
yeah, he was
Breedemar.
helping me.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was helping
helping me.
Frederick. So he wasn't ready for combat at all. He was just trying to pull you free. So he actually pulled out his dagger, right? While Breedemar patted you free of flames, he pulled out the dagger. Lucius patted himself free of flames, and then the retainer, of course, took his dagger out and started cutting off your sleeve. So he cut off one sleeve per round. So he's like cut, and then you pulled, and then he takes one more round to cut your next sleeve. This next round will be him cutting your last sleeve. So it took 1 round for him to cut one of your 2 sleeves. That's this round that's happening right now, round one. So we're still in round one, and for round one, as after all the monsters attacked, after Breedemart pat the flames out, after he cut one sleeve off, after Lucius pat himself free of flames, after Bran unslinging his pike, we're now gonna go into round two. And for round two, the monsters are now settled in with us, just flying around. Some of them are stuck in us. There's about one stuck in uh, the retainer. There's one stuck in Bran, and there's just 6 flying freely around your party at the moment. So for this round, round two, Breedemart, you pat the flames out last round. What do you want to do this round? Do you want to start combating the monsters or something else?
Yeah, actually, I want to equip my shield and my mace.
Okay, that'll take this whole round, right? You're grabbing your mace, you're grabbing your shield.
Yep.
Okay. As you're equipping these weapons, you're able to still defend yourself with your shield as soon as you pull it out, then block off some of the monster's attacks. You'll get the passive +1 or -1 defense from your shield AC. Your shield was already clinging to your arm, but now you're just pulling it free to fully equip it and get the full range of protection. Lucius, for you, I will say this round or last round you managed to pat yourself free of fire. So this round, what do you want to do?
I'll take my um torch, and I will try and get the bat that has stuck itself inside the retainer.
All right, you want to burn it with the flaming torch, set it on fire.
Mm.
Okay, and then
Yes.
okay, hopefully it will be lit on fire then. Let's see. Uh, Next is gonna be Bran. Bran, let's see. What would you for this round? You have your pike out, but most of these monsters are in close melee at this point, so the pike is very ineffective against them, right? Because they're in close melee. The ones in the air still flying around, you might have a decent chance at attacking them. But the one that's on you, you can't target naturally with your pike. It's too close. So you can target the ones flying freely, but you cannot target the one that's on you. So do you want to switch weapons, or do you want to just target the ones in the air and let this one keep draining you?
I try to grab like the one draining me, and like try to like, yeah,
Crush in your
and just
hands.
yeah.
Okay, so you just crush in your hands or try to grab it, and squeeze it against you, just break it apart, right? So you won't get to attack with your pike this round. You're just kind of one handing your pike with the other arm. You're just gonna grab it and break it. As you're doing that, Frederick, you still need to get one sleeve cut off, and as you're waiting there, you have one hand free, so you can cast a spell if you want.
Oh yeah, I gotta cast shield.
Okay, you're casting shielding yourself as he cuts your sleeve.
Yep.
Okay, and then there's one monster in him, so actually he doesn't choose to cut your sleeve. This next round, he chooses to defend himself, right? He's got to kill a monster. He has to help
Oh.
himself first. So you're
Okay,
still
here's
stuck
the thing.
there.
Or I might get it
Instead
with my
doing that,
torch.
no, instead doing that, I have a dagger. I can cut myself free. I have one hand free now.
Okay, so you're changing your action.
Yeah, so I was just gonna use
Right.
dagger to cut myself free.
All right. Do note, moving forward, there's no such thing as changing actions. So once you declare an action, you can't change it. That'll take a round to change, right? Like you will stop halfway and then start doing your next action. So
Okay.
be careful what you
Okay.
say. Moving forward. All right, that's your.
Oh,
That's
so
one.
this time it won't cancel on my action.
This time it won't. This time you can get your dagger
Okay.
out. But next time you change your action, it won't happen. Okay. So first
Okay.
action is what you're already doing. You're in the process of it. All right. So the first dot is your first action. So uh, let's see what happens next. So now we're gonna start round two. What actually happens? We'll start with melee. So we see in the melee, there's a bunch of things flying around trying to hit you guys. We're gonna see how Bran is holding out. Bran, the one that's on you, before it can continue draining any blood, you actually end up grabbing it and just trying to crush it against you, and you're able to deal with your hand 1 plus your strength damage, automatic, since it's just stuck on you. It doesn't have any. I won't say you have to roll a hit since it's still just stuck in you, right? So it's on you. You automatically hit. What's your strength, Bran?
13.
13 plus 1 bonus. You deal 2 damage to it. Let's see how many hit points it's got. Alright, it was a small one stuck in your armpit. All you had to do was squeeze your arm, uh, squeeze your arm close to your armpit, and you would break its head. Pretty much, it would pop in your under your armpit, just explode under your biceps and your chest. As that happened, of course, there were more around you trying to attack you. We'll say about 2 of them decided to attack you. 1 is dead out of the 7, so there's 7 left. 2 of the 7 attack him. So let's see how he holds up against 2 attackers. Alright, the first one trying to get at you scores a 15. That's it. Your armor class. What armor do you have? Do you know your armor class?
0.
Armor class 0. Alright, it misses. The second one scores 11. Misses. Both of them are flying around you, right? Grabbing onto you, clinging onto you, trying to jab their beaks, but all that's happening is their beaks are just kind of getting bent against your plate armor, your cuirass and such. They cannot penetrate through it. As that's happening, of course, we're gonna go see how the retainer holds up. The retainer, Hudred, turned around after cutting the sleeve off of Frederick's arm, one of the 2 sleeves. He had his dagger in his hand at this point, and he started stabbing at the monsters near him, particularly at the one that was clinging onto him. He would automatically hit it for a d4 plus his strength, which is 0. So he deals 4 damage to it. This one was pretty big actually, but he still manages to kill it. He grabs onto it. It's a bit of a struggle. It's trying to drain him of blood, but he holds the beak tight and he jabs the dagger into it multiple times and pulls it free. That one's dead. But as he was doing this, there were more of them around him, so he did get a kill. But 2 more ended up attacking him. Miss and a miss. So far 4 misses. That means there's only about 2 attacks left to go, and there's 2 dead. So the 2 last ones that are flying around that have a chance to hit, one is still trying to kill Lucius, as Lucius is at this point trying to take his torch and burn off the one that was on Bran, but Bran already killed it, so he would try to burn the one near him. Or actually, Lucius, do you want to defend yourself against the one trying to kill you?
There's only one trying to kill me, right?
Yeah, one is flying around you.
Yeah, I'll attack the one trying to kill me.
Alright, before you can actually switch your attack against it, it already gets an attack before you. You lost the initiative since you're trying to help Bran originally. So, before you could help yourself, you're trying to help Bran, and while you're trying to help Bran, one of them flew into your back and started to jab its beak into you.
Right.
Scoring a 14, the beak does go into your shoulder, or let's see where it hits exactly. It went into, yeah, your shoulder or your arm. It starts sucking blood from there, right? You took a total of 1 point of damage from that hit. How many hit points do you have?
I have I have Gambison and shield. So
Alright, how many hit points do you have?
currently I have
Lucius.
4, so I'd bring me down to 3.
Okay, 3 of 4 hit points.
Mhm.
Okay, and then as soon as it stuck its beak into you, you took your torch and tried to drive it into it, try to set it on fire. You just first beat it down with the torch. You score a hit with the torch. The torch deals a d2 of damage plus your strength. What's your strength?
10.
Alright, you managed to deal 1 damage to it, and we're gonna see if you set it on fire or not. We'll say there is a 2 in 6 chance it catches fire without any oil. Just like a trap. Alright, it's still not on fire, so you're just hitting it with a flaming torch so far, and you only dealt 1 damage. It was kind of just like a brush. you would automatically hit this thing actually because it's stuck on you, and but it hasn't caught fire yet. It's just one round of it, you just driving the torch into it, and it's starting to burn up, crisp up from the flame, but it's not been long enough for it to catch fire yet. It's only taken 1 damage. Let's see how strong this one is. This one's pretty big actually. Let's see. So yeah, it's barely enough damage. This one's large. It's very large wingspan, just clinging to your back, driving its beak into you. All right.
Well,
So our poor Lucius at 3 of 4. The monster is wounded for 1 damage. Okay, so then there's one more. This last one went for this time it's Frederick. As Frederick's just clinging there onto the wall or the wheel still, trying to pull his knife out. As he's trying to pull his knife out to cut his own sleeve off, the monster is flying around him trying to stab its beak into him. And it ends up scoring a 9, which is a miss, I think. What's your armor
Oh
class?
God, that was close.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, flying around you, misses. You're in a really bad situation right now. Just got hit really hard earlier with the fire. And then Breeder Mart, you were of course taking this whole round to just equip properly. You got your shield and your mace out, I think.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to go into round 3 now. For round 3, Breeder Mart, you can start swinging that mace of yours if you want at the nearest. Or
Yeah.
is there a particular individual you want to help fight monsters from? Do you want to help
hmm.
Frederick or Bran or Lucius in particular?
Ooh, I'll help out Frederick right now. I'll
Okay.
attack the one on him.
Yeah, he's in a critical state.
Yeah.
So you start helping Frederick, and then Bran, do you wanna? You crush the one under your armpit. Do you wanna start piking away at them at this point, or something else?
Pike at them.
Okay. I'm gonna try to remember. You have 2 attacks. Okay. So along with the other fighter, if there's another fighter here, Rita Mart, yeah. And then Lucius. At this point, you have
Mhm.
one clinging onto your back still. It's beaking you. Do you want to keep driving your torch into it?
Mm, um.
Or do you want to slam it into the
Yeah.
wall? How do you want to hit it?
Yeah. I'll keep driving my torch to it, trying to like
Trying to start it on fire.
drive it off
Yeah,
me, trying to scare it away.
sounds good. Hopefully it will catch flame. Um,
Mhm.
and then in the meantime, Frederick, last round you barely managed to dodge a monster, and then you cut your sleeve free. So now you're both hands are free now from the wheel that's on fire. The fire has quickly died though. It was an explosive fire. It's not a long lasting one. So, um, but your arms were clinging to it as it was on fire. So, uh,
They pat
your
it out.
arm, you did pat it out. But it wouldn't really help because, uh, like you wouldn't take explosive damage, but you'll still take at least 1 point of fire damage for just burning last round because the wheel was on fire, right? And your arm was still stuck to the wheel. So you took 1 more point of fire damage from last round. Okay, so you're sitting at 1 hit point now, I think. Right? Yeah, 1 of 10. Okay.
Okay, if I cast magic missile, it go off first, right?
Once you cast it, it can happen at any point. So
I will cast it now, aiming at the one at me and the 2 in the air, I think.
alright, but first you must cast it, which takes 1 round, and then once it's cast it, the missile follows you until you're ready to launch it.
Oh,
And once you
I
launch it,
didn't know
happens at
that.
any point. So it still takes a whole
So,
round to cast it. It doesn't automatically happen. So
so whole round to cast it, and
and then once
then
yeah,
immediately shoot.
once you cast it, then you can just save it until you're ready to use it. So
Okay, now
but there's a
now
duration.
use
Yeah, that it stays
cut
with you.
now use shield. Then I did not know
How
I
it
had to
works,
wait.
yeah. You have
So
to do
so
1 round of waiting, and then after that, though, the missile follows you until you're ready to throw it.
okay, now
Um,
cast shield.
okay. So you cast shield instead. Hopefully you can cast it before this monster hits you. Hopefully someone's there to intercept it. I think Breedomar's gonna intercept this one that's trying to kill
Yep.
you. And then therefore you'll be able to cast shielding yourself. As that's happening, Lucius is of course still torching one, and then of course Bran is at this point piking them. Actions declared. Hudrid at this point is switching to his polearm, and then of course next round he'll get the swing. But he has to take this whole round to switch to his full arm because last round he just used his dagger to quickly stab at the one that was clinging onto him. So for this round, there are 6 left. One is wounded. This wounded one, I think, was the one clinging onto your back, Lucius. So there's 1 on Lucius. There's 5 more in the air that are choosing new targets, and their targets are gonna be Wiedemart, Frederick, um, Bran is gonna be 2 on Bran, and 1's going for Lucius again. So
Right.
basically, what's gonna happen is Lucius, 2 are gonna be attacking you soon. 1 is already on you, but 1 more is gonna try to attack you. Wiedemart, 1's going for you right now, as 1 is still on Frederick. But if you want, you can intercept and take 2, and Frederick will take 0. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that works for me.
Alright, so you'll take 2, Lucius takes 2, and Bran takes 2, and Frederick takes 0. So here's for the order of melee, it's going to be fighters first with their initiative naturally. So Wiedemart, you would quickly step forward with haste, right, and you would swing at the one on you first, and then maybe, or do you want to focus just on? Yeah, you would just intercept both of them, and you would start getting in the way of both of them and swinging at both of them. So first one,
Yep.
you swing at. Are we using my dice for your rolls or?
You use your dice. Roll for me.
Okay. You got the first roll is a hit, 17, plus
Okay.
your strength. What's your strength?
14, so +1.
18 hits, and you have a mace.
Yep.
5 plus 1 damage, 6 damage. Alright. 7 hit points. Alright, almost had him. This is a big one. Do you want to go for the wounded one again, or do you want to go for the fresh one?
Let's go for the wounded one again.
Okay. So hopefully we can finish this guy off. Your second attack, as they both try to attack you, your second attack will be hitting. And that will be enough damage to kill the first one you just hit. But before you did that, we're going to see if they had a chance to hit you. The shiny is you, so we're giving them an initiative pretty much. Alright, you had the initiative. So you kill one before the other one is able to even have a chance. Or you kill them before kill one before they're able to have a chance to attack you. If that didn't happen, they both would have an attack against you before you could kill one. So because you killed one before they could attack you, only one attacks you naturally.
Okay.
And therefore, let's see if it hits you or not. This was probably the one that was going for Frederick. You intercepted it. It scores an 18 against you. What's your armor class?
6.
Alright, your hit.
That's it. Yep.
You take 1d3, 3 damage. It's stuck in you. I'll say it's an automatic hit next round if you choose to target it.
Okay.
See, and it's an automatic hit for it too. It just continues to drain you. It's clinging
Okay.
onto you, this massive winged bat-like mosquito, draining blood from your. Let's see what area hits her. You were hit in the chest area. No wait, though that's the limb. Sorry, it hits you in the armpit, the gap in your armor. So
Okay.
sucking blood from there. Let's see. You're sitting at how many hit points after 3 damage?
14.
14 out of 17. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brentmore.
Okay. And as that's happening, let's see. There's still melee going on. Bran, on the other hand, is taking up 2 enemies at once. His pike, he has initiative since he's a fighter. His first attack misses, unfortunately. His second attack will do initiative first. Pike against normal or close melee, but they're still in the air, so it becomes normal. Alright, they flew down. They're in close melee with him, so you can't use his pike as they're like flying around him. They're grabbing at him. They're trying to jab their beaks into him. 2 attacks coming toward him before he has a chance to hit them again. 17 misses. 10 misses. No chance. They're in close melee with you though, so they're flying really close to you. Your pike is on you. You can use your pike against other targets that are not the ones targeting you, if that makes sense. So you can pike at the one attacking either Lucius or Brudamart, pretty much. But the ones actively trying to hit you, Bran, are too close to you, if that makes sense. So, do you want to stab with your pike against the ones further away, or do you want to switch weapons? Or do you want to just punch them in the air?
I just try to whack at them with like my pike like a staff.
Oh,
like
sure,
last
yeah, you
time.
can do that too. In that case, you would use your pike like a staff, right? Beat them, and that'll be 1d2 damage. It's better than just using your hands. So you just kind of beat them away with your pikes, the half of your pike then, pretty much, with your second attack. Which is a 14 plus your strength bonus, is going to be a hit. The half of your pike slams into one of the 2, dealing 1d2 damage. It's going to be 2 damage out of the D2, and then plus your strength bonus of 1, 3 damage total. Let's see if it's a kill. It's a kill. So while they're flying around you, you end up grabbing at one, pulling it close to you, and crushing it against your plate cuirass. You have the haft of your pike crushing it into your plate cuirass, and you hear bones crack and its flesh kind of burst open and blood spurt out. Right. Let's see. All right, you kill one. Nice. There's one still flying around you. In the meantime, as that was happening, Lucius was in melee with 2 of them. Lucius automatically hits the one joining him with blood behind him, flames in it and such. We'll roll initiative between the 2 of them. They're both in close melee, but as that's happening, one's flying down toward him trying to kill him. Before that can happen, we're going to do initiative to see if the blood is drained before he can actually flame it to death or torch it to death. It's simultaneous initiative, so as he's trying to kill it, it's trying to kill him, and they both deal damage simultaneously. The monster deals a D3 damage to him as he deals a D2 potential flame damage if he sets it on fire. So first is his D2 damage. We'll see if that kills it or not.
Or sets it ablaze.
1 damage against the one still clinging onto him. Let's see if let's see if it catches fire. It did not catch fire yet. He's like continuously swinging, bashing it with a flaming torch, and it's kind of like spinning around, trying to avoid getting caught on fire. And it does take some damage, but not enough. Right, that one's still alive on him. It's a big one, and it manages to continue to drain him of blood. This round it drains him of 3 hit points. He was at 3 hit points. He drops to 0. We're gonna make a saving throw versus death. It sucks him dry pretty much, right? Suddenly he just like quickly drains and sucks, and blood just immediately starts to drain completely from his body. He makes a saving throw to survive it. He's very pale, and he falls on his knees. You can hear him just barely gasp for air as he falls forward on the ground, dead. That is the end of Lucius the Acolyte.
Oh, shit.
Game over. For the remainder of the adventure, you're welcome to sit out and enjoy the rest of your day, of course. I want to thank you for playing it up until now. Lucius has survived a couple adventures, so you have been a good player. I hope to see you at the next game. But for the remainder of the session, you can sit out or see how it ends for the rest of the characters.
So, question.
Yes.
To roll up a new character, do I just do it on my own, or do I wait till next session?
You wait till next session, typically.
Okay.
Traditionally, old 2 gamers, they roll up together, right?
Okay.
So, alright. Have a good one if you're going to head out. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the show. Let's see.
I'll stick around.
The game. Yeah. The rest of you, the combats continue. We just lost a brother. Lucius is down, and as he's being killed, there's one that flew onto him, right? A second one, as he's already dead. This one jabs its beak into it, realizing there's no more blood to be sucked, right? So soon we will have these 2 back in the air looking for new targets. And that was the end for melee. No missiles from your party, but there was magic. And that was Frederick able to cast shield since he was protected that round against any other melee combatants. So Frederick, you're able to cast shield on yourself, and suddenly you feel a supernatural force that protects you in combat. The shield spell has been used in a while, so I'll describe it. So shield basically will last you 2 turns, and it creates an invisible field of force that protects you, the caster. Yeah, against missile attacks you have an armor class of 2, and against other attacks you have an armor class of 4. Alright. Let's see. Aside from that, we're now going to go into the next round, round 4. So, Breeder Mart, you want to continue swinging that mace of yours?
Yeah. I'm gonna continue swinging, and I'm gonna yell out to Hudred and Frederick to get behind me if they can.
Okay. And then as you're yelling for them to get back, and you continue swinging that mace of yours, Bran, your action. Do you want to keep piking at them, or they're in the air again, trying to fly down on you again, right? So you can pike them again,
Are
or
the
you can pike
birds
at
like
different ones.
are the birds like still like attacking people here, like still on them, or like are they in, like,
Yeah, they're
in the
still
air,
around
like...
you. So there's only let me see how many are left. There's about 4 left. One is on the 2 that were on Lucius are now moving on to new targets. There's 2 with you. There's 2 with Breedomart. You can stab at the oncoming ones. You can stab at the ones around Breedamart. The ones around you or barely have a chance to hit you naturally, because you're in full armor. So you might as well help someone else while these guys are distracted by you. Or you can try to save yourself first. Up to you.
Stab at the oncoming ones.
Oncoming ones, the ones that were on Lucius. Okay, you stab at them. You actually get initiative against them since they are further away. They have to fly toward you first. So you have a greater uh, amount of reach with your pike. Okay, so you go for those two as the other two continue flying around you, and then there's two with Breedamart who he's fighting against. Frederick, this round, what do you want to do?
I will hide behind Britmart.
Breedamart. Okay, you just stay behind him with your shield spell casted. You don't want to do anything else like cast magic missile or anything.
Nah,
Take out a
I
sling.
think that's it.
Okay.
I don't have a sling. I have a longbow. Can I shoot longbow though?
You might equip it next round, but you already said you're gonna stay behind him this round. So
Oh, you say I don't do anything else. Can I do anything else?
yes,
Be-
sure.
because that's a movement to his behind him. So
Sure.
my action will be I pull my longbow. So
All right,
that's
you equip your longbow this round. Next round you can start shooting. So you're getting bow and arrow out. Takes 10 seconds, and then as that's happening, of course, we see the retainer this round starting to fight back with his polearm. Right. Last round he had to take it out, so now he's gonna start swinging. All right, everyone's actions declared. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna start with Breedamart and his melee. He has two against him at the moment. One of the
There's
monsters that were on. What was it?
There was one on me already, right?
Uh,
Yeah, I believe there was one
yeah.
already in my armpit. Yeah.
You wanna crush it?
Yeah.
It's an automatic hit. All right.
Yeah, I will attack that one first.
So, do you have a small weapon to use against it, or do you want to just unarm it?
you have a mace, right?
Yeah,
Mace
but
is
I probably can't reach
not
it with it.
small. It's in his armpit, right? So, I would say, actually, the mace can reach it. Yeah, it's just a large weapon can't reach it. So you can use the mace against it, since it's still stuck in you.
Okay, yeah, I'll use my mace.
All right, you beat it in with your mace. It's an automatic hit. But before you have oh yeah, you have initiative against it. You have two attacks. So before it can drain you of any more blood, you just bash it in, dealing a straight 4 plus 1, 5 damage to it. It's a kill.
Okay.
And then there's one more around you, which you swing at. Before you can swing at it, there's initiative between you and it. It wins. It has a chance to hit you before you can. Scores a 5, misses, flies into your armor. You swing into it. 10 plus 1, 11, a hit. That's a miss. So you both miss. There's a bit of a struggle between you and it. One of the monsters that were on Lucius flew toward you and attacks you as well. Misses. The man at arms helps you, swinging his polearm at one of the two that are around you. Scores a hit. Damage is 8 damage. Kill. All right. And then let's see. There's two headed for, or two still around Bran. But Bran poked at one of the two that were flying toward him from Lucius. Let's see if he hits it. 10 plus 1 from his strength. 11 missed. And then with flying to close melee range, and there's two around him right now. So we're going to do initiative for a second attack. Him against the three around him. The monsters all have a chance to hit him before he has a chance to start swinging back at them. They're all in close melee, so if he wants to hit them, he has to use his he has to just basically punch at them or half them, right? Hit them with the half of his pike. So in this case, 3 attacks coming toward him before he has a chance. 15 missed, 13 missed, 1 missed. His halving attack, 1 missed. So all misses in the area of our great Bran, not the warrior, swordmaster. Yes. And then that is it for melee for this round. Frederick managed to equip his bow. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So now we're going to round 6 or 5. I think it's round
I think it's 5.
now. Yeah.
Yo,
So round
Brian, I saw
5.
your pike master. I could use a pike.
Okay, indeed, the pike is a very good weapon, and for the most part, but not in close melee naturally. Let's see. So in this next round, Frederick, you can start opening fire, shooting at the ones flying around Bran or Breeder Mart, up to you.
I'll just shoot the one that is flying above Britomart.
Okay, and Breeder Mart, do you want to continue melee against these guys? There's about, I think, two of them on you.
Yeah, I will continue melee against him.
Let's see, let me double check. There's one, two. Alright, so about 6 of them are dead so far. So that means there's only 2 left. So there's one around you, and there's actually only one around you, and one around Bran. Or I think, did you kill all the ones around you? Yeah, I think all the ones around you are dead.
No, I think I still had.
Oh, you have one. You have
I
one.
had. I think I had 3 on me, and we killed 2. So yeah, it would be 1 on me, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. One on you left. One on you, one on Bran, actually. So,
Okay.
I kind of messed up right there. But yeah, Bran, there's only one around you, because you killed a bunch of them earlier. So, one is around you, and one is around Breedemart. That should be the last of them. So this last one is going to get shot at by Frederick. It's going to get swung at by Breedemart. Bran, the one that's on you is in close melee with you still. Do you want to pike at the one near Breedemart, or do you want to just half the one near you?
I could do one near Britomart.
Okay. And then maybe they can come help you after. Um, or you can switch to your dagger if you have one. We'll see. In the meantime, oh yeah, I asked all 3 of your action at this point. So, good to go. And the retainer is still swinging his polearm. This time the retainer is going to step forward and swing at the one around Bran. Help Bran out this time. So let's see what happens. We're going to start with melee, close melees. I'm going to start with Breedemart. Breedemart, before any of them have a chance, you have your first attack with your mace. Scores a hit, crushing it for 4 damage. Kill.
Okay.
This last one around Bran. Bran, you have initiative against it. Um, you already saw the one around Breedemart die, so you're just gonna half this one because it's too close. So you swing at it with the half of your pike, right? You just kind of punch at it in the air, scoring an 11 plus 1, 12 hits, dealing 1 plus 1, 2 damage. You bash it into a polearm user, which is further back. He swings his polearm at it as it's trying to fly right back at you. But the polearm swings at it from behind. It's a combo attack. As you push it away, polearm swings, scoring a miss. Unfortunately, it flies toward you. Before it can fully close that distance, we'll say that Bran, you're able to actually pike at it with your second attack. Yeah, you have 2 attacks, and before it can close that distance again, there's a chance that you and Breedemar is able to run in there and swing at him. But first, it has to fly toward you again. You get 1 more attack against it after halving it away. Scoring a 10 plus 1, missed again, flies past it. Let's see if Breedemar is able to get to you before that. We'll do an initiative. Missed. Okay, so the monster still has a chance to get you. It has 1 chance to hit you before you guys annihilate it. And that's gonna be 4. It misses, and actually, I'm gonna do a morale check. Forgot to do a morale check. Um, as soon as it misses, you see it's like probably looking for a way to escape at this point. It's stuck in the corner with y'all. It's cornered. And then of course our shooter has a chance to shoot it. Oh yeah, Breedemar gets in there with his mace.
Can I roll for it if it's my attack?
Sure. Breedemar missed.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
19.
Alright, you shot him. You score 1d8 damage.
Or
4, just enough. And it falls dead. The Sturges are killed, or the monsters are killed. Right, the flying bat, mosquitoes. They're all dead before you, but we lost our brother in the process, and 2 of us almost lost our lives.
fuck, that was close.
Oh, Lucius,
Very
I'm so
close call.
sorry.
Yep, sorry, bud.
Alright, so I say we gather up the surges, get Lucius' body, and we head out of here.
Yeah. How much stuff on Lucius?
I'm still disappointed I died before the retainer.
Oh,
Oh.
dude, how much do you have?
Alright, so
I
Lucius,
had.
look him over.
Sorry.
Go ahead if you want to tell him, since you're still here.
Yeah. Yeah. He had his. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up his inventory. He had a gambeson. He had his shield. He had his cross that he wore on his neck. He had his clothes, his mace, his sling, and he had about 29 stones left. He had his sack, and then he had his 10-foot pole, and then he had his torch.
Do you have any silver?
Nope.
No, he had no silver.
Oh shit.
You're gonna rob him, weren't you?
No, of course
Yeah.
not. What the hell? No.
Look, I'm too poor, man. You should have let me go on a couple more adventures before you farmed me.
Well,
Nah,
Green
man.
Heart will start collecting the surges and put it
Yeah.
in her pack. She
Yep.
has 12 torches though, so I don't know if that'll be enough for all 6 surges.
Yeah, you guys can take my body
Each
back, right?
sturge weighs around 5 pounds. So 3 to 5 pounds. They're pretty big, naturally. These large wings, and most of the wings take up the space. So
I have a,
12
sorry, I have a quick
torches.
question though. My bad. Sorry. Don't mean to cut out. I'm saying that if I cast knock, would that unlock the 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 door or whatever thing the chain attached to?
Maybe you should try it. But anyway, the 12 torches weigh 36 pounds, and let's see,
I have a pack.
pack carries up to 60 pounds. So you maybe can carry about 4 or 5 of them max. Four of them.
Alright, I'll put 4 of them in my pack then, and then I'll
There's 4
ask
more
if
left
somebody
to
else
carry.
can
Yeah.
carry some of the rest.
Mhm.
If they take my body back, my next character gets my gear, correct?
That's right.
Alright.
Can I drag Lucius with me? I don't have anything. Other than my backpack. I'll
Takes two
drag him with
characters
me.
to effectively buddy carry a character out of here, right?
Mm.
So Fedric and
Me
Retainer.
the retainer. Yeah, well,
That's
this
fine.
can carry.
He's willing to
Lucius.
carry a brother out. So the two of you will drag Lucius's corpse out of here, get him buried, get his gear passed on to the next in line of his house to take his place on the campaign. And then of course, Bran, do you want to help loot some of the sturges?
Sure.
Do you have a bag?
I have a sack.
Okay, is it empty? Do you know if it's empty or not?
Uh, I have like all my weapons, but like wouldn't that be like equipped on me or like
Yeah,
in the
weapons.
sack?
Just the only thing goes into your sacks or containers are supplies and equipment slash treasure slash. Yeah.
I
So
don't have any of that.
okay, then yeah, you can carry up to 4 of them. That's the last of them. So all monsters have been looted. They should be worth a decent amount in town. It was a decent combat. We did lose one brother, but we killed 8 of them. So we were outnumbered. It was like 5v8, and we still survived, but barely. And it was a bad start because 2 of you couldn't do anything. So about 3 of
Oh
you
yeah,
just
I almost got burned to crisp. Fuck.
yeah
With 10
lit in
health, like
fire, flaming oil trap,
Yeah. I'm
sticky
surprised
tar, flaming oil.
Lucius also got lucky.
yeah, you're not even nowhere near. You put out fire, you're fine until you got attacked. Then you go,
No,
fuck.
I'm saying he could have took like a lot. He only took 1 damage.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't
he
take
just got
damage.
licked in fire. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lucius
he
got
got
licked.
Right. So
Yeah,
it was
he got
Bran
lucky.
who got take one
Yeah.
one damage from the explosion.
I should have.
Yeah, that's real lucky though.
Yeah, I saw the tar smoking. I should have pulled my torch back, but I didn't. I didn't know. So
There was a warning.
Shit, wait, I got my arm stuck there. Like, let's just blow his arm off.
Alright, let's get out of here, guys.
Alright,
yeah.
tell me
Well,
the
I
way out.
say I say let's hug the eastern wall, and we'll head north.
Perfect. As you continue along the east wall going north, you will pass the mushrooms as you saw earlier. Would you want to prod this area still, or just stop prodding and go through this area?
Let's prod it.
Prod it.
I'll use my pike.
No, not the mushrooms. Don't prod it. It's mushrooms.
No, the mushrooms aren't in front of us. They're on the western side. We're on the eastern side.
But if you prod the
Okay,
area, you
then.
might prod toward the west. That's the concern. Because prodding means
Oh.
you're sweeping, right? unless you want to just like prod the floor directly ahead of you. In that case, you're just tapping. You're not like really like sweeping, right? Like how prodding usually is conducted
Yeah, I'll just
Okay
be
then.
tapping with in front of me with my pike,
directly in front
right
of you.
alongside
Okay.
Bran. Yeah.
All right. So we're tapping ahead, directly ahead. We're not sweeping or anything like that. The standard prod of the 10-foot wide area. Um,
You still have my
Nothing
pole,
happens as you do
so
that. As soon as you pass the mushrooms,
sorry.
though, you can resume the normal prod, which is means that you secure a whole 10-foot wide area with the 10-foot wide pole or 10-foot long pole. So,
Okay.
All right.
all right, and then we press forward. We are continuing north toward what looks like daylight up the area. So you get north through the cavern, north through a tunnel, and then outside. Congratulations, you survived your expedition into the mine. Did we go very far? Not too far, but did we get some profit? Yes. Did we lose someone? Unfortunately, but it happens.
That's sad.
Win some,
Quick
lose some.
question though.
hmm
I think there's 50% chance we can find 1d4 Janes from steerage because belongs to treasure type L, which is 50% chance to find Janes.
If you encounter their lair, yeah.
Oh, that's
Sturges have
that's
a
what it is.
very
Okay.
good treasure hoard, right? So if you can follow them back to where they were sleeping or where they came from or what they were guarding, then you can get that
I
treasure.
see. I
So
see.
that's a good indicator of treasure nearby, right?
So,
Let's see. But you have to be ready to face a horde of Sturges then.
yeah, though, no any more people. We need more meat bags who take the hit.
Alright. What often happens is a small crew ends up encountering large monsters, large groups of monsters, and the large parties end up encountering smaller groups of monsters, unfortunately.
Yep.
And be that way sometimes. Okay, so uh, for the remainder of the adventure, you guys will make your way home, cash out, or get your reward money for your bounties, and that's pretty much it, I think. You'll heal up, of course, in town. You'll bring Lucius's corpse back to his family, and did anyone want to loot his body of anything, or are you guys sending it all back home? Keep in mind, everything he owns is tracked by his, like, every character tracks their own gears, naturally, so the house is expecting what should return. Of course, they would understand if something was lost in the dungeon, but they would still be skeptical, right? And if you want good repute, at least the corpse should be brought back. But the possessions, the more possessions you can bring back of Lucius, the more appreciative I'm sure his player would be, naturally, so that he doesn't have to start at square one next time he plays.
I say we send them everything.
I take the mates. Just kidding. No, it's fine.
Alright, so send everything back to his house, Lucius's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And perhaps, typically, what's in line with that is that character gives you 10% of the profits, or anything if you return a character, corpse, or sometimes they'll, give you like 10% of what you're usually entitled to at least 10% of what you would bring back. So you don't have to give everything back. You're entitled to 10% of what you're sending back, just like inheritance, right? So you do deserve something other than just a thank you. So
Nah, it's
between his
fine,
gear,
man.
I would say his most valuable item, or the most valuable thing to him, would be his cut, right? So the share that he would deserve, you would just take it out of his. You would just basically, since you're sending his gear back, you guys might not split his family a share of the treasure, if that makes sense. You might just cut it between the four of you, and then of course just send all his gear back home in compensation.
By
If that
saying
makes
four,
sense.
you mean 3.5 of us.
Yes, 3.5.
Okay.
Is that fine? Unless you guys want to give him a cut, you can give him a half share, maybe.
I'm just saying that when Lucius roll a new character, he will get gold and the gear. So, you know. Also,
Yep.
we won't sell it much.
Wait, he'll
I mean,
get gold, or what are you talking?
You
No,
roll
no,
a
it's
new character, you
silver.
get
I mean,
3d6
Oh,
silvers, right?
silver.
So,
Oh,
but of
I,
course,
I
you
would
also
say
get your
give them at
experience.
least a
oh
half
yeah.
a share, but that's my vote. If you guys want to take a vote,
All right,
I say half a share, but I don't know
half
what you
share
guys want
sounds
to do.
reasonable. It'll make dividing the treasure easier too for me at least. So
Thank you. Thank you guys. You didn't have to
half
be
share.
so kind.
Any
all
objections?
right, sure.
That way his time wasn't fully wasted, right? 3 hours of D&D. He at least wins something tonight, right? Um,
I
I
mean, I
don't like to
want.
send you guys home without winning a game of D&D. So at least win
Yeah,
some way one or another.
yeah.
So
Well, hey,
um,
I won. Sorry.
okay. Go ahead.
Uh, I mean, hey, at least I won a full set of gear for my next character. So,
Yes, sir. And a bit
Yeah,
of the share.
whatever.
So
yep.
Yeah, whatever silver we got. that you keep it, right?
Yeah.
New character.
Alright, so let me get a calculator out. Divide up your money. Do you want to sell the Sturges at the standard rate, or do you want to try to haggle?
I don't trust my haggle. It's because that depends on the dice. What the
Yeah,
dice says.
dice and
So
what you
let's
say.
just,
So
Do we know what the standard rate is?
if I tell you the
Uh,
standard rate, you can't
we
switch to
don't.
haggle.
The only thing we know is for the something else we killed. It was like 6 silver piece. I don't know. Remember which monster it was.
It might be
But
bees.
we never killed Steerage. Steerage. So I don't know. My
Um,
guess probably 5 or 6 silver pieces.
I say standard pricing.
I have a question.
Yep.
I mean, I guess as Lucius was getting sucked to death by this bat, would he be able to recognize what type of creature it was?
I mean, I accidentally said it multiple times. Some players
Oh.
already know what it is though, so they can tell you.
Okay.
Wait, so you can tell me what it is?
I said some players already know what they are, so they can tell you.
Okay.
Oh, so you know what it is? Some players? Who knows?
It's a sturge.
It a search?
It's a sturge.
It's a search. Yeah, I know what it is. Oh wait, so I saw you mean like how much we can sell it. That's what.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
no.
it's steerage. Yeah, it's
Alright, so
I
you're
found it
getting
on the OS.
104 silvers total for your kills, your
oh,
bounties.
What?
So
oh.
divide it,
Mm.
1,
4
2,
ways?
3, 4 ways, and one of the shares is gonna be divided by 2 for the 2 that get half shares. So it's gonna be
26 per
26
person?
for a full share, and then 13 to the half shares. So
Is
Hudred
wait,
and
sorry.
Lucius get 13 SP.
That's way better than the centipedes.
Oh
Like-
yeah, the centipedes. That's why it's 6.
I
Jeez.
could finally buy armor.
And the others get 26 silvers for this one.
Jeez, bro. That sounds. Oh man, that sounds so sad.
I've been sitting on Gambit for so long. I
And
pumped
he's a
all my
fighter too.
I pumped all my silver into leveling.
True. That's
He's
true.
a level 2 fighter with Gambison still. Fuck yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, and since Matter using him weird armor, I'm probably gonna put my money in armors. Like I
That was
need
a
like a
bad run tonight. Could have
Yeah.
gone
Yeah.
worse.
Next character, I'm gonna wear like 5 sets of canvas.
dude. I need 500 silver to upgrade to level
Yeah.
4. So I don't.
So,
Probably gonna gear up first.
is that what you would recommend though at earlier levels? You can to just double up on Jameson.
You can only wear one Gamson at a time.
Oh, you can
So,
only one Jameson.
I mean, you can wear 2 at a time, but the protection level will be the same. Minus
Oh,
1.
okay.
Wait, so we can wear multiple layers, like Gamson and Mel?
Yeah, you can wear a heavy Gamson, which is basically 2 Gamsons, right? It's
Yeah.
heavier, but more protective to some extent. You can wear Mail and Gamson together, and a Curious on top. So the total types of armors is 3 layers. There's light layer, medium, and heavy. So the only light armors is Gamson, the only medium armor is Mail, and the only heavy, there's multiple heavy armors, right? There's Scale, Lamellar, Plate, Brigandine. Those are all heavies.
Dope. What? Okay, skill is a heavy armor, huh?
Yep, that's considered one of the heavy armors you would wear on top of
And
lighter set.
for helmet is give how many AC for helmet?
-1 for the
That's one,
standard
dope.
helmet. There's great helms too, though, like full helms, which are -2. Heavy helmets.
But that's gonna block your eyesight or something.
Yep, you can't see or hear as well, and naturally, um, it's super heavy, right? It's 20 pounds.
How much just free armor though if you just get like
So
the
naturally,
standard?
anyone can make themselves nearly untouchable in combat, but if you make yourself untouchable in combat, there's one thing that you can't do. You cannot retreat, right? So no matter how heavy you are and how protected you are, a nat 20 still always hits you, right? So there's always a chance to get hit still.
5%. So it's
Yeah.
a good odds, guys.
So if I'm
But
dealing with
you want to
dagger-
sacrifice no retreat for nearly untouchable in combat, right? That means every combat you fight, you have to fight and stay there until the end. It's fight or die, pretty much, if you're in heavy armor.
Yeah, it's old school. It's gonna be pretty. It's gonna catch up to you at some point.
So running away is one of the most effective ways to not die, right? If you run away, you can't get hit, you can't get targeted, you live to fight another day. But If you choose to be in heavy armor, any combat you're in, you have to stay till the end. So, pretty much, unless you're able to break their morale or kill them all.
So
I get a word. That retainer was a elephant of
that's
a man. He
yeah,
was.
that's a beast of a man. Jeez.
He took a
He
lot of
had.
God.
hits.
Yeah, he had more HP than
He
like I
had
think
5
me.
hit points total.
Oh, five. Oh, so he's about as strong as me.
Indeed.
And he's a level 0 human, correct?
Yep. How I do it is there's two types of humans. There's the normal humans which have 1d4, and there's the
Yeah.
combatant humans like brigands and such who have 1d8 still, but they don't get the fighting skill until they're a first level fighter.
Can we keep him around as my retainer next time?
You can invite him for another adventure if he's
Yeah,
still
or
around.
next time I
Yeah.
show up. Next time I show up, we invite him. At least he got a fair share. He got 13 pieces.
Yep. You
Oh,
paid
no.
him well.
That's epic, Sean.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
So that'll
sure
be
he'll
it for
come back.
tonight. I might run another game today, since we didn't run more games this weekend. So this is our only game this weekend, unfortunately. So I'll try to run another one if you guys are still awake. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next weekend.
Wait. So you run another one around what time? I just want to know what time though.
If I run another one, I'll try to run it earlier because I know
Yeah,
Americans are gonna go to sleep soon, probably
Yeah,
very
I'm up.
soon.
I'm American.
Yeah.
It's 1 a.m. where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's
So
2:30 where I am. So you're gonna run like in the morning or later? Like let's say like 10 a.m.
if I run another
American time.
game, it would probably my usual times are either 10, 15, or 2000 JST. So if I run another game, it'll be at 2000 JST, and that would
That'll be
be
7 o'clock here
yeah,
for me.
and
Then.
that would be super early in the morning for Americans, like 5 a.m. So most of
Yeah,
them will
so
still be sleeping.
so like from 4 hours from now, you're gonna run another game.
If I run another game, it will be in about 5 hours from now.
Yeah,
5
man.
hours.
I just gonna stay up. Fuck it. I stay
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, Frederick, you want to play some games?
Oh yeah, I was didn't get a chance to play the last 2 days. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
gonna play it now.
I can
Alright,
run a
well,
game sooner if you guys want. I can run a game if sooner, but uh, if I run it in 5 hours, there might be more people awake, like more Europeans awake. All the Americans will be sleeping, but all the Europeans and Asians will be awake in about 5 hours from now. I can run one earlier if people really want to still play though, but I'm pretty sure Hay and Valerie want to bed tonight because it's
Yeah.
really late for them. So I want to tell you guys good night. Hope to see you next weekend.
Right.
Thank you for playing.
Anakin.
Yep.
And then-
I'll
Okay.
see you
Good night.
later then, Boomer.
Henry,
Thank
you're
you for helping me,
European,
guys.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
you're Canadian?
I'm in Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But I
it's
have
super late for
a
you too.
yeah, I have assignment I had to do for the professor, so I would stay out on that. Anyway,
Okay.
it's fine.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
what
in high
would you
school.
prefer? Play sooner or later?
It's like what I want is actually have not player to play though, right? So we can do earlier or later as long as I have more players. So
Okay.
what I would suggest that we try play earlier to see how enough players. If it don't, wait a couple hours, then wait for the Europeans to join. I guess. Would that be
Yeah.
okay?
That's fine.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Boomer, are you American too, or
Yes, I'm American.
okay? So it's pretty late for you. All right.
Mhm.
Well, thank you guys for playing. Have a good night. I hope to see you next
Yeah.
weekend if we don't play
Yeah.
later. So
Yeah. Have a
Have
good
a
night.
good night, guys. Bye.
Yeah. Well, I'm in high school, so I can just squeeze in 4 hours and then show
Oh
up
shit!
the next
Do
session.
you go to class tomorrow morning?
No, not tomorrow. It's still weekend.